A man plays a game for the first time. He scared the game development company into holding an emergency meeting overnight. It was because the moves he performed couldn't even be mimicked by hacks. Netizens would rather believe he was a cheater than believe this was a no-assist challenge. Little did they know, due to a system bug, the man had been trapped inside the game for a full 10 years. He was even reduced to an experimental subject for the Transcender project. As the test subjects died one by one, Baek Yu-hyan, who persisted to the end, became a Superman. But those inhumane experiments left him with lingering psychological trauma. Electrocution, drug injections, physical modifications. The number of victims reached a horrifying several thousand. As experiment subject number 62, Baek Yu-hyan was on the verge of a breakdown because there were very few survivors left around him. He was afraid of being left all alone. The sizzling electric current had brought Soo-ah to the brink of death. Crying, she said her goodbyes to Baek Yu-hyan. She really couldn't hold on any longer. Baek Yu-hyan was powerless to do anything about it. Immediately after, another male companion fell. His final wish was for Baek Yu-hyan to survive. At first, he thought this was just inside a game, just a realistic game, and he would be able to get out soon. But as time passed, he discovered with despair that this had become his new reality. Reverse Planet is a virtual reality game. It sits firmly at #1 on the global game charts. It is sought after by the public for its themes of dimensional gates, superpowers, and invasion wars. He had logged into this game under the strong recommendation of a bad friend. He never expected this to be a point of no return. He swore he would survive, and then take revenge. So, he planned an escape with the other survivors. But when they painstakingly reached the exit, what awaited them was not freedom, but an even stronger watchdog blocking the way. The man revealed a perverted smile. His bloodthirsty expression was evident. He indicated that this place would become their grave. The group didn't expect this outcome, but they couldn't just wait to die. They quickly arranged their tactics. Those with weapons would take the front, letting Baek Yu-hyan's support from the rear. The man thought they were a bunch of fools who didn't know their place. He would catch them all in one fell swoop. The battle was incredibly tragic. Everyone died. In the end, Baek Yu-hyan strangled the man to death. Baek Yu-hyan wept bitterly. But the next second, something strange happened. A black shadow crawled out of the bodies of his dead companions. Each one was filled with anger and unwillingness. Just like that, he escaped the research institute. In a flash, 10 years passed. Just like that, he kept killing. To avenge the people he loved, he harvested life after life. The security team members were terrified. Their gun barrels were smoking. One of them even tried to escape in the chaos. But how could Baek Yu-hyan let him go? But Baek Yu-hyan was tired of this endless revenge. Everyone was urging him to take revenge. He was also on the verge of collapse. How much longer did he have to live like this? Did he have to live like this until he died? But just then, a pop-up appeared. He had waited a full 10 years for this thing. Reward: provides a chance to return to the original world. Special mission: bug fix. Chance for original world: eliminate the general manager of the Transcender project. Reward: provides a chance to return to the original world. Baek Yu-hyan looked at this mission in disbelief. It finally appeared. The chance to escape this place. The scene shifts. A blonde man is kneeling on the ground. Why on earth are you doing this? We were only one step away from enjoying the glory. Why on earth? This guy was the general manager of the Transcender project. At this moment, his bodyguards were lying all over the floor. Baek Yu-hyan, who was closest to him, grabbed him by the collar. That you're asking me why I'm doing this? You're not actually asking because you don't know, are you? Unexpectedly, the blonde man slapped his hand away. Shut up. Experiment subject number 81. I wasn't talking to trash like you. Mr. Baek Yu-hyan, you stepped into the realm of transcendence with a mortal body. You are a true Superman. You are the most perfect masterpiece of the Transcender project. No matter what it is, as long as you want it, I will offer it to you. You are on a completely different level from those fools. A white mist emerged on Baek Yu-hyan's hand. He indicated he didn't need it. The blonde man panicked upon seeing this. Wait, not just that. You foolish guy. Do you think everything will end just by killing me? The organization will absolutely not forgive anyone who dares to oppose them. Not just you, but your family, relatives, colleagues. We will destroy them all. Baek Yu-hyan was here to kill him anyway. How could he care about these threats? The white-haired man was a bit annoyed. He stated that blood had splattered on him, and he still had questions for the blonde man. But now he was killed by Baek Yu-hyan. Little did he know, Baek Yu-hyan wasn't listening to him at all. His eyes were fixed entirely on the pop-up. Special mission BUG fix complete. All special missions completed. Promised reward will be distributed shortly. Return to original world? Baek Yu-hyan reached out his trembling finger towards yes. Finally, he could break free. But just then, countless voices rang out. Yu-hyan, where are you going? Have you forgotten us? What about those remaining guys? Please, go kill those guys. Revenge. Carry out a cruel revenge. Baek Yu-hyan felt he had done enough. He was tired. At this moment, the white-haired man slapped his shoulder. Hey, Baek Yu-hyan, what are you dazing out for? I'm going back to the original world now. The white-haired man was confused by this. What original world? What nonsense are you spouting again? Didn't you belong here from the start? Pass on a message to the others for me. Tell them I'm sorry. In the end, he clicked yes. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself lying on his side in bed. This was actually his room. He didn't expect to really be back. He checked his phone. He discovered it was the same day he got swept into the game. That meant while he was over there, time here hadn't passed at all. Looking at himself in the mirror, the scars and muscles were gone. It was as if everything was just a dream. But those images in his brain were so real. Sua's despair. The general manager's threats. Those couldn't be a dream. To say it was a dream, all the sensations and memories were too vivid. The 10 years spent over there were undoubtedly reality. Just then his phone rang. The caller was Jong Nayeon, but he felt this name was very familiar. Immediately, a roaring sound came from the other end of the phone. Hello, Baek Yu-hyan. Why aren't you replying to messages? Don't tell me you forgot about our date. D-date? Yeah. Didn't we agree to meet tonight? I'm sending you the address. Get over here quickly. I'm hanging up. Baek Yu-hyan finally remembered. This was his closest classmate from the same department, and also the main culprit who persuaded him to play Reverse Planet. If she hadn't begged him tirelessly, he wouldn't have played it. He suspected Jong Nayeon knew everything. Was it intentional? But he immediately denied that thought. For now, he should go meet her first. He had just walked in when Jong Nayeon excitedly waved at him. Here, Baek Yu-hyan. It's really been a long time. This is the first time we've met since break started, right? Want a drink? Baek Yu-hyan said the weather wasn't good today, so he didn't want to drink. The real reason was, in his current state, if he got drunk, he didn't know what he might do. He didn't dare to drink. What's wrong? Then let's just eat. Looking at the pork belly on the grill, this was a luxury for them. At this moment, Jong Nayeon actively asked, by the way, did you play Reverse Planet? You said you'd at least play the tutorial. She was bringing up a sore subject. After creating the character, he had just finished watching the opening animation when he was dragged directly in. She only heard that he watched the opening animation, so she was a bit dissatisfied. What the heck? Baek Yu-hyan, isn't that the same as not playing? Hearing this, Baek Yu-hyan felt like killing someone. The same as not playing? Speaking of which, because of whom did I survive in hell for 10 years? If it weren't for you, I was looking forward to it so much. Because you agreed to come on my stream as a regular guest. Weren't you a high ranker in the arena before? For a small streamer like me, if you just show half of that skill, I'll definitely go viral. Baek Yu-hyan was also stunned. Streamer. She seemed to have mentioned doing some game streaming. He finally understood why Jong Nayeon kept pestering him to play together. But he didn't remember agreeing to that kind of thing. You said you'd come at least once. Only then did Baek Yu-hyan feel a sense of reality that he had returned. After returning home, Baek Yu-hyan immediately started searching online. The address of the developer of Reverse Planet was in Silicon Valley, San Francisco, USA. Then he sighed again. Even if he found the headquarters, what could he do? Even if he said he was transported to another world because of the game, he would just be treated as a crazy person. There was something even scarier. If it really was related to them, wouldn't he be walking into the lion's den? If he rashly provoked them, who knows what kind of retaliation he would face? He didn't even know what he was doing right now. Since he had already escaped that hell, why investigate these things? The best way was to forget about the things over there. After all, this was his original world. From that day on, Baek Yu-hyan started going to school normally, trying hard to live an ordinary life. As a student, he should enjoy campus life properly. But did he really come back? Is this kind of day your reality? He didn't expect to have brought them along, too. He turned around to look. His classmates were all studying quietly. But the next second, he found that everyone had turned into black shadows. Something started to become misaligned. The voices of those shadows rang in his brain again. Avenge those guys. Revenge. A tragic revenge. This isn't the place you should be. Go kill those guys quickly. Baek Yu-hyan ran out in a hurry. The classmates didn't know what got into him. Immediately after, a hand patted his shoulder. Baek Yu-hyan, are you okay? This startled him. He grabbed that hand reflexively. He pulled forward with the momentum. Then he quickly threw another punch, like he was dealing with a monster. The classmate was scared witless. What are you doing? This voice pulled him back to reality. He hurriedly held his own hand. Sorry. The classmates also noticed his abnormality. He was very afraid. At this moment, he just wanted to be alone. But those voices rang out again. Yu-hyan, enough. Come back quickly. Yu-hyan, have you forgotten us? You have to take revenge on those guys. Just then, Jong Na-yeon suddenly appeared beside him. Yu-hyan, look at your haggard face. You seem to have been in a trance lately. Did something happen? Baek Yu-hyan didn't want her to worry. He stubbornly said nothing was wrong. Jong Na-yeon knew he didn't want to talk. She didn't insist, since you say so. But if anything happens, remember to tell me, Yununa. I'll help you. With these words, he felt relieved. Anyway, let's go in first. I brought these ghosts here. If all of this won't end until they are satisfied, then I can only try to make it happen. He looked at the game capsule in front of him. He lay directly inside, because he understood. If this went on, there would be no difference between here and there. Go back. This time, I must make a real end to it. Immediately, a mechanical voice sounded. Welcome to Reverse Planet. Baek Yu-hyan recognized at a glance that this was the waiting room of the Research Institute. Did he enter directly into the game? After all, the him in the other world couldn't return to the Research Institute. He couldn't figure it out. Why couldn't he go back to that world? He had finally made up his mind to return to that hell. Or did it require some other condition? Just then, a pop-up appeared. Confirm current character appearance. He also felt he should go through the tutorial first. Maybe he could go back after the tutorial ended. He directly set the combat assist to 0. After all, in the other world, he crushed everything even without combat assistance. Next was selecting the first superpower core element. Here, superpowers could be reset at any time. Is designed by selecting a core element and then strengthening the character through various sub-elements. The combination of superpowers linking everything from the core element to sub-elements is called a build. Because the elements are extremely vast in professional leagues, there are even those who only research builds. They are called professional builders. And among them, the one that earned him the title of Superman was this. Core element selection complete. Then a broadcast sounded. Experiment subject number 48. So, the game doesn't show the process before awakening. He expressed understanding. After all, no one would want to specifically experience that kind of thing in a game, unless they were masochistic. Immediately, he prepared to go in and take a look. As soon as he entered the door, he was startled. He would recognize the thing in front of him, even if it turned to ash. Atinel. This was a killing machine created to stop the rampage of the Awakened in the Transcender Project. It was also the culprit that took the lives of countless test subjects. Tutorial Mission 01. Eliminate Atinel. Please use your manifested superpower to fight Atinel. But looking at its structure, it should be an early version. He recalled those unbearable memories again. Yu-hyan Hyung. Save me. Countless test subjects were killed by it. He saw it teleport and rush towards Baek Yu-hyan. Baek Yu-hyan rubbed his wrists. Whether here or there, they were all the same. The researchers were truly as always, only doing things that pissed people off. He tilted his head and dodged Adenel's fist. But Adenel's offensive came in waves. Its order was to eliminate everyone who stepped into this room. But no matter how it attacked, Baek Yu-hyan could dodge easily. At this moment, Baek Yu-hyan seized an opening. He slapped its chest with his palm. The final version was difficult because it could even use superpowers. But this one right now was just an early version piece of junk. This strike directly shattered it into pieces. Experiment concluded. The level Baek Yu-hyan demonstrated this time is already in a completely different class from the superpower aptitude of ordinary test subjects. Eliminate Atinel mission completed. Baek Yu-hyan couldn't wait to start the next experiment. Just then, an alarm sounded, delivering a message to all innocent victims trapped in the Research Institute. Please try your best to escape to the outside immediately. It turned out the government had intervened. The woman couldn't understand why the government guys would come here. Baek Yu-hyan found this voice familiar. Tutorial Mission 02. Escape the Research Institute. Please find a way to leave the Institute and escape to the outer area. The next second, an explosion came from above his head. Baek felt he had to leave here first. He ran desperately. As the explosion stopped, the corridor had become a mess. There were severed limbs of Adonels everywhere. He also looked at the man leaning against the wall. It was actually the symbol of the Otherworld Administration Bureau. It seemed he wasn't an enemy. You were a victim, right? Being here means you want to escape, right? I might be able to help you. Immediately, he opened something like a weapons cache. Pick anything you want from here and take it. And this too. When you get out, use this to send a radio signal. Then people from the Administration Bureau will come to pick you up. After saying that, he died. Baek crouched there and started choosing. He suspected this was a scripted scene required for the game plot. But what he didn't notice was that an Atinel had already appeared behind him. He finally chose a sickle with a chain. But his mood was terrible right now. He didn't understand what exactly was going on. At this time, a game streamer named Kong Soyeol also logged into this game. She even arrogantly stated, "I'm actually going to play Reverse Planet, this national game. My pride as a niche enthusiast is weeping." Weeping. The chat messages were also lively. She actually knows she's a niche enthusiast. You chose this mainstream game yourself. Why is she reacting like this when just starting a national masterpiece? Really don't get it. Who held a knife to your neck forcing you to play Replanet as a punishment? Seeing this, Kong Soyeol was furious. This wasn't a punishment I decided on. You guys decided it on your own, okay? But well, since I agreed, I have to do it. Who asked her to spoil her fans? She was a woman who never broke a promise to her viewers. But the viewers went straight for her face. But don't criticize her too much. Otherwise, who will? Stream these niche games for us. Kong Soyeol showed great personal professionalism. She didn't get angry. Instead, she followed her own pace. So now, I will fulfill the punishment for failing the clear challenge. A casual try of Replanet. The viewers weren't stupid. They knew she was changing the subject. Newbies have to go through a process when entering the game. She kept her own appearance. For superpower, she chose Cool Flames. Finally, it was the percentage of combat assist. The system explained thoughtfully. Combat assist is a system that provides all-around help for combat through posture correction, motion assistance, superpower usage correction, etc. The higher the percentage, the more help you get. The ratio could be set by oneself. Fans are giving her terrible ideas again. Mom, I want to play no assist when I grow up. This must be 0 assist. No assist tutorial cleared, GKD. Hurry up. 0. Go, 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 go. Are you scared? Mom, I want to play no assist when I grow up. But Kong Soyeol wasn't stupid. She started thinking, clearing the tutorial with no assist. Is it possible? She had done her homework beforehand. The percentage of players worldwide who chose no assist to play the game was basically 0. Although she had practiced her controls quite well playing niche games. But she heard that without assist, it felt like trying to control a suddenly grown third arm. She felt it wouldn't work. These fans all wanted to see her make a fool of herself. She immediately started acting cute. Oh my, everyone. No matter what, no assist is 2. But the next second, a mission popped up. Mission, clear tutorial with no assist. Reward, 500,001. Her face changed instantly. Her eyes turned into money symbols. She said insincerely, a challenge is what makes a real streamer. The fans weren't stupid either. They started teasing. Attitude change as soon as the mission came out. Ha 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 ha. Capitalist ghost. Kong Soyeol was full of energy as if she had been injected with chicken blood. Until I clear the tutorial, I will play in no assist mode. But soon she regretted it. Everyone, is this really right for me? As a result, she was instantly killed by Atinel at the start. She was so angry she started crying. There wasn't even any explanation. It just told me to fight. It even sneak attacked. Some fans comforted her. Lasting 2 minutes is already pretty good. There are plenty of pro players who lost to it too. Fighting Atinel with only one core element in no assist mode. That's definitely hard. Someone else said, this wasn't a mission designed for you to win anyway. But Kong Soyeol didn't lose heart. Now I've scavenged the radio and weapons. I just need to escape, right? At this time, she also received Tutorial Mission 02. Escape the Research Institute. Starting automatic team matchmaking. Matching team. Suggested team size 4. This gave her hope. Teaming up is good. Clearing it with matched teammates also counts as completing the mission, right? Fans started chattering again. Hey, that's too much of a free win. Of course, you can hug a thigh, get carried. If you knew how this tutorial matchmaking works, you wouldn't say that. Anyway, you won't match with anyone. The mouths of the last two fans seemed to be cursed. The system popped up, matchmaking failed. Kong Soyul was dumbfounded. How can I not match with anyone? Replanet is a national game. There should be many players. Starting team matchmaking. Expanding search. Team matchmaking. Expanding search. Will include missions already in progress in the matching scope. See, told you it wouldn't work. But why doesn't it work? I really don't get it. Matchmaking only finds people with the same combat assist percentage. What lunatic would use no assist mode to clear the tutorial? No, wait a minute. Then doesn't that mean the match teammates are also in no assist mode? Taha. So it's a no assist team. This isn't a free win. This is a rhythm of having to carry. If a no assist team can clear it, I'll accept it. Kong Soyul even had thoughts of canceling the mission. Unexpectedly, a miracle happened the next second. Team matchmaking successful. She screamed and frantically pressed the cancel button, but it was too late. Joining tutorial mission already in progress. Escape the research institute. I'm done for. As soon as she arrived at the mission location, she was stunned by the scene before her. She saw Adenels lying all over the ground in disorder. She felt she was hallucinating. Everyone, this doesn't seem like a joke. The people in the live chat were also confused. What's the situation? No. Is this real? Is this really a newbie tutorial played by a no-assist team? For real. This is too crazy. Is it a pro player on a Smurf account? Even among pro players, no one can achieve this in the tutorial with no assist mode. What was most shocking was that these weren't taken out by guns. No assist mode, without even a gun. Yet so many Adenels were killed. Kong Soyul was overjoyed. This is totally a free win rhythm. Then I have to hurry and find this big shot. At this moment, Baekyu Hyen dealt with a few more Adenels. Suddenly, his eyes looked in a certain direction. It was actually Kong Soyul sneaking over to There's a person here. Before she finished speaking, a bloody blade appeared before her eyes. Kong Soyul was scared silly. At that time, the blade was only 0.01 centimeters away from her. The next second, she hid in fear. Help me. Baekyu Hyen withdrew the blade after realizing she wasn't an enemy. Sorry, I made a mistake. Immediately, he turned to leave. Wait, we seem to be matched in the same team. Can we go together if possible? Before he could agree, Kong Soyul followed him. My name is Kong Soyul. I'm a streamer doing personal broadcasts online. By the way, I'm streaming right now. Do you mind appearing on camera? I've turned on personal information protection mode, so your face will definitely be covered. Hearing this, Baekyu Hyen suddenly stopped. Kong Soyul jumped, thinking he was angry. It turned out someone had appeared. It's an escape test subject. Kill him. No need to take him alive. Immediately, the sound of rat-a-tat gunfire rang out. Kong Soyul was so scared she squatted on the ground holding her head. Yeah, why is the tutorial difficulty like this? But next, she saw a scene she would never forget in her life. Baekyu Hyen could actually dodge bullets with his speed. His body movements were even more exaggeratedly incomprehensible. The chain sickle showed great power in his hands. The one with the machine gun actually couldn't beat the one with a cold weapon. This extremely defied common sense. The live chat also exploded. What the hell is that? Chain sickle Jenny. Kong Soyul didn't care about being laughed at. She hid aside and started asking humbly. Because I don't know much about Reverse Planet, but that control, it defies common sense, right? How do you use that kind of weapon without assist? Yes, it really defies common sense. What exactly am I watching right now? Does anyone know what superpower that big shot is using? Eye color also suddenly turned white. Looking at the movement of that chain sickle. Is it wind? No. If it were wind, it would be more obvious. Telekinesis is the same, although I don't know what it is. I'm confident I'd be beaten like a dog if I met that person in PvP. The only core element that changes eye color to improve physical ability is perfect existence. Perfect existence. Kong Soyul was a bit surprised. Isn't that thing called trash because it makes you unable to use superpowers? And people are told not to pick it? That's why we said we don't get it. Perfect existence as one of the many core elements of physical abilities and superpower resistance increase significantly, but you'll be unable to use any superpower skills. Because of this negative effect, it is treated as an epic level trash skill among players. On the reverse space-time forums, perfect existence ranks first among must blacklist core elements. For real, totally don't understand why they released this kind of trash core element. Just the fact that you can't use superpowers already explains everything. If any guy in the team picks this, hurry up and quit the team. GG. Kong Soyul felt there was nothing wrong with that. This is indeed a bit against common sense. In a game where superpowers are the main feature, choosing a build that can't use superpowers. I've played Reverse Planet for so long. I've never seen a perfect existence. Seeing his eyes turn white, that's definitely it, resulting in screaming and deleting the account. Also, perfect existence has a characteristic. That is, the eyes turn white. In no assist mode, only improving physical ability might actually be an advantage. True, it's hard to use superpowers in no assist mode, so simply giving up and investing all points into physical ability, that can be considered a strategy. But she couldn't figure out. Baek Yu-hyan should still be only level 1 right now. How could he perform those moves? What exactly was this guy's background? She had never seen such a fierce man. He pierced through them with just a chain sickle. This was simply the reappearance of the Grim Reaper. But the ghost felt it wasn't enough. Yu-hyan. Not enough. Take revenge more cruelly. Just this level. It can't satisfy me yet. But just then, a fish that slipped through the net quietly appeared. He even aimed his gun muzzle at him. The man just threw a casual punch. It actually terrified the Stage 1 boss. Because this wasn't the power a low-level test subject like Baek Yu-hyan should possess. One must know the particle barrier that even firearms couldn't leave a mark on. Baek Yu-hyan could easily shatter it. Little did they know, all of this was bestowed by their research institute. Seeing Baek Yu-hyan in danger, Kang So-yeol flashed in front of Baek Yu-hyan and pulled the trigger. Pew pew pew. 3 bullets interrupted the sneaker attacker. The sneaker attacker trembled with anger. A single slip-up. Kang So-yeol, who was on the ground, fired another shot. The sneaker attacker instantly bit the dust. Kang So-yeol didn't forget to strike a pose, classically blowing on the gun muzzle. This time, the people in the live chat became her fans, not sparing any words of praise. Wow, honestly, that was explosive. I say, this guy's marksmanship is really good. Duh, to want to play this kind of niche game. Marksmanship has to be good. Those who don't know would think she killed them all. Isn't she just stealing kills? Get out, kill stealers. At this moment, Kang So-yeol turned to look at Baek Yu-hyan. How was it? At least I helped, right? Good grief. So she was showing off. Here, a memory of Baek Yu-hyan suddenly appeared. Anyway, I was confused at Yu-hyan Appa. Saw a girl running towards him. Babies, do you know who this is? Could it be Suwa? Just then, Kang So-yeol interrupted him. Driver Appa. This form of address stunned Baek Yu-hyan. What kind of address is that? You're not angry, right? Of course, I know Driver Appa did all the fighting. I just leafed a little. You did help. The live chat became lively again. This Driver Appa is too nice. Even being so generous to the kill stealer and carrying her. Simply a god. Although I can't see his face because of privacy protection mode. I feel like he must be handsome. Don't you think his voice is also very charming? Although I know it's processed by a voice changer. But I just feel, seeing Baek Yu-hyan being so generous. Kang So-yeol asked, really? Can we do the tutorial mission together? I will definitely try my best to help. Baek Yu-hyan readily agreed. Then, Driver Appa. Baek Yu-hyan really couldn't listen to it anymore. Just call me Baek Yu-hyan. Okay, Mr. Yu-hyan. She guessed this might be his real name, because this probably couldn't be blocked. But she still couldn't help asking the doubt in her heart. If it's not offensive to ask, was your initial superpower core element perfect existence? Baek Yu-hyan admitted it directly. After all, there was nothing to hide. Wow, even this works. This skill, perfect existence, should be reevaluated. The one above, saying reevaluate. Can ordinary people use it like Driver Appa? Won't change. The one above is right. Can ordinary people use it like Driver Appa? Hearing this, Kang So-yeol also looked incredulous, plus endlessly envious. Whoa, how did you dodge bullets without superpowers? Do you usually play any other games? No, I don't have any games I particularly like to play. After saying that, he suddenly stopped again. What's wrong? About 20 meters ahead. There are 2 Adinels. 20 meters? But Kang So-yeol couldn't figure it out. He didn't have remote sensing superpowers. How could he grasp the position and number of enemies 20 meters away? This defied common sense too much. Baek Yu-hyan told her not to worry too much. Just follow him. Could it be? No. Could it be true? When she saw there really were 2 Adinels, Kang So-yeol was shocked. At this moment, Baek Yu-hyan looked thoughtful. Speaking of which, I did have quite a bit of fun playing the game Coliseum. Kang So-yeol was speechless. Big brother. Compared to that, danger ahead. Stop quickly. As soon as her voice fell, Baek Yu-hyan teleported and appeared in front of Atinel. His size 42-foot kicked Atinel away directly, with just one blow. He turned an Atinel into spare parts. One must know, when he played the craziest back then, he had even been on the leaderboards. At this moment, he clenched his fist again, directly blasting another Edenal. The powerful impact made the space tremble. The live audience went crazy again. Wow, just took out an Edenal like that. Hey. Don't forget this is in no assist mode. Is this the power of a Colosseum high ranker? Once they said he's a Colosseum high ranker, his previous moves make sense. Kang Soyul didn't quite understand. Colosseum high ranker? Is it that amazing? You don't even know what a Colosseum high ranker is? These niche players, TSK. Actually, I don't know either. Hey. Pro players? Are they that strong? Seeing these comments, those in the know immediately jumped out to explain. Although I don't know about now, back in the day, if you became a Colosseum high ranker, pro teams would immediately come scout you. That's right. Player Battler actually became a pro player that way. Be Battler. Kang Soyul knew this person. Isn't Battler the most famous person in the Reverse Planet pro scene? Since he's a former Colosseum high ranker, would he have fought Battler? How about it? After finishing off the two Edenals, Baekyu Hyen didn't stay put. He continued pushing forward. Soon they arrived at the Institute's exit. A loud voice reached their ears. You actually have the skill to crawl up here. Don't you know this place is about to become your grave? Oh, it's Baekyu Hyen's old acquaintance. Institute security captain, tutorial boss. But this guy's arrogance hasn't changed a bit, don't worry. You'll soon see your companions who went ahead. Seeing him, Yu Hyen knew the tutorial ended here. But the next second, he looked like he saw something incredible. Countless spirits crawled out from behind the security captain, but he was unaware. The spirits all wore expressions like they wanted to eat people. At this point, the security captain started attacking don't even think about going back alive. Kang Soyul raised her gun and fired a burst of didada, but they were all blocked by the security captain's protective shield. Kang Soyul felt it was a bit unfair that aren't particle barriers only for the awakened? The netizens helpfully answered her. The security captain is an awakened too. He's the tutorial boss. After all, having this level of ability is normal, right? Thinking you can pass mindlessly with just guns is too naive. Seeing it was impossible, Kang Soyul quickly HID'd at MR. Yu Hyen, I'll provide fire support from the back. The netizens wouldn't miss the chance to roast her. Seeing she can't win, she immediately calls for the driver. This speed of changing sides is unmatched. White mode, activate, even if it's just in a game. If it can give you even a sliver of satisfaction. Baekyu Hyen threw a punch. The particle barrier, which bullets couldn't even dent, actually caved in. The security captain flew back, kicking up a cloud of dust. Kang Soyul was dumbfounded. What kind of monster is this? Hey. He didn't even shoot just now. How did the security captain's particle barrier break on its own? Is it a BUG? When had the security captain ever suffered such a loss? You bug-like guy. At this moment, he switched to a new skin. Steel body enters the stage. What's with that skin? Is it the security captain's ability? Yeah, the security captain's ability is steel body. He leaped towards Baekyu Hyen. I'm gonna tear you to pieces. The netizens were sharp-eyed. Wouldn't he die on the spot? Look how the ground sank. The steel body weighs at least a ton. If he gets hit by that punch, wouldn't he go meet his grandma immediately? Baekyu Hyen easily dodged the fatal punch. Seeing he missed, the security captain roared. How long do you think you can hide? The next second, one of his arms turned into a high-speed electric drill. Wherever it passed, wall debris flew. Baekyu Hyen couldn't keep dodging forever. They saw him clench his fist. The netizens sweated for him. 0.1 hit is a fatal injury. It's hard for me to dodge the captain's attacks, even with assists on. And she talked about fire support? Laughable. The next second, Baekyu Hyen's fist swept across the security captain's iron face, directly shattering his goggles. The security captain knelt and coughed. His steel state actually began to deactivate. But Baekyu Hyen wasn't happy. Don't deactivate your steel state, because you can't die easily. The spirits were urging, kill him, tear him to pieces, just like what happened to us. Make it even more cruel. The security captain looked terrified. You kind of test subject. How could you have this kind of power? Baekyu Hyen looked down at him. This is all thanks to you. Kang Soyul was completely reduced to a spectator. Institute security captain eliminated. What do we just see? wow, exploded with coolness. Now, this is a driver. Everyone. But the way he beats people up is a bit. Could it be? Anyway, he finally killed the tutorial boss. Now we just have to walk out, right? Thinking about it, that's true. Successful free ride. Too satisfying. Wait, why is there a driver here at this specific time? This last netizen obviously wanted to see Kong So-yeol suffer. Then let's go, Mr. Yu Hyan. As soon as Baek Yu Hyan left, the spirits entangled the security captain's corpse. It looked like they were dragging him to hell. Just outside the institute, Kong So-yeol let out a sigh of relief. Yahoo! Finally escaped. Tutorial mission escape, the institute complete. Level up, obtained 1 ability point. Mr. Yu Hyan, are you going to continue pushing the main story today? No, I plan to stop here for today. He wasn't tempted by Kong So-yeol's beauty at all. Seeing the stream was about to end, netizens hurried to scold Kong So-yeol. A netizen named Gray Game Company said, "Damn, this streamer is so thick-skinned." Forbes selected Best Freeloader Streamer. But the username was too hard to make up. This netizen thought it was funny. I just came in. Why is it ending already? TTT. This netizen named La 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 obviously missed the good timing. With this, the mission to clear the tutorial in no assist mode is a success. Today's stream was very interesting too. See you tomorrow. Seeing Baek Yu Hyan still there, Kong So-yeol immediately proposed an idea. Can you regularly appear on my stream? Appear on stream? A drop of cold sweat appeared on Baek Yu Hyan's face. Yes. Reverse Planet. Occasionally we can play PvP too. I will schedule it absolutely according to your time. I'll pay the appearance fee generously too. Kong So-yeol looked expectant, but Baek Yu Hyan refused directly. Kong So-yeol was a bit disappointed, that I understand. Seeing this expression, it seemed persuasion was useless, but adding a friend is okay, right? Then she prepared to go offline. That IT was really fun playing together today. I wish you a happy time in Reverse Planet in the future. Surprisingly, she was quite polite. With that, the tutorial ended completely, leaving him standing there alone. But the thing he expected didn't happen. Why can't I go back to that side? But what he didn't know was that his gameplay today would cause waves in the future. At this time, on the Reverse Timespace forum, a video quietly appeared. Technical post, analyzing why the no assist, no weapon video is a hack. Let me explain why this guy Baek Yu Hyan is a hacker. But then, a more explosive message appeared. Anonymous viewer number 62 sponsored 3 million KRW. How does it feel to be back in reality? The man clearly cleared the game in no assist mode, but he was attacked by countless netizens. Even the game development company launched an investigation on him. But the results shocked everyone. That was, his set of moves couldn't even be simulated by hacks. What they didn't know was that Baek Yu Hyan had been trapped in the game for a full 10 years. After experiencing inhumane experiments, he became a superhuman. Clearing the first tutorial stage was a piece of cake for him. The next morning, Reverse Planet developer Planet Earth Korea branch. Because of a single user, this group of people was facing an unprecedented situation. The video showed Baek Yu Hyan thrashing the tutorial boss, and no matter how many times I watch it, it's unbelievable. No assists, didn't even use weapons, and he crushed the security captain. The atmosphere in the online community had already decided this was a hack. Users were spamming the company's internal bulletin board, demanding an explanation. The regional manager had a headache. Are you sure it's really not a hack? The yellow-haired guy answered crisply, certain. Just in case, we checked all data from character creation. There are absolutely no records of tampering by external programs. Besides, although I've seen countless hackers until now, there are guys running through walls, guys turning invisible. But this kind of movement is absolutely a first. It's simply against nature. Operations that even hacks can't mimic. The yellow-haired guy seemed a bit jealous. If it's not a hack, then this is simply a madman. But there's a very low probability that it could be a new type of hack we haven't discovered yet. The regional manager agreed. But no matter what, we must conduct a definite verification. At a cold drink shop, Baek Yu Hyan and Jung Nayeon were on a date. So, because of me, the online community is in an uproar. Baek Yu Hyan seemed a bit disbelieving. Yeah, it's a total mess right now. There's even a no-assist challenge among users. The community forums have defined you as a hacker. Absolutely impossible without hacks. Because everyone failed. So now public opinion treats you entirely as a hacker. Do you know how surprised I was when I first saw that video? You actually said your real name. But Baek Yu Hyan couldn't figure out. The stream clearly had personal information protection mode on. It was broadcast with a mask on. Jung Nayeon shouldn't have recognized him. You revealed your name yourself? Plus, I've seen you fight before. By the way, although I knew you were strong, I didn't expect it to be to this extent. People who don't know would indeed say it's a hack. I see. So that's why there was that contact. Contact? What contact? That Planet Earth Korea branch contacted me and said they wanted to verify if I used hacks. Just then, Kong Soyul sent a message. Baek Yu-hyan had to explain that IT was conveyed through that streamer. Young Nayeon instantly turned into a gossip spectator. The game company is personally stepping in to verify hacks? This aggro is going to be maxed out. So, are you going to accept? Baek Yu-hyan did want to accept. Although it was just the Korea branch, it was the only chance to contact the developers. If he could meet someone high-ranking, maybe he could get clues about that world. Although I said I'd think about it, I decided to try. Young Nayeon seemed more excited than him. Really? Good thinking. If you're going to keep playing Reverse Planet, it's better to clear things up. After all, being called a hacker by everyone you meet would put you in a bad mood. I don't care about that anyway. It doesn't matter. Besides, will anyone recognize me? I didn't show my face on the stream. Baek Yu-hyan was still hoping for luck. But Young Nayeon's words broke his fantasy. Even if you change your name, your fighting figure is too unique. It's impossible not to recognize. Your style of fighting without using abilities doesn't exist even in the pro scene. Even if pro players try to hide their identities recently, they get exposed because of habits revealed during combat. Netizens have sharp eyes. Like Rookie, he didn't escape. His info was exposed because of habits he didn't even notice himself. Right? But luckily you agreed. Otherwise, that streamer would definitely get scolded. Baek Yu-hyan really didn't understand this time. He is him. Kong Soyul is Kong Soyul. The two have nothing to do with each other. Idiot. To those people clamoring about the hack controversy now, does that matter? Although they'll only curse at you at first, they'll soon turn their spearheads towards her. Baek Yu-hyan felt the internet was truly scary. He immediately replied to Kong Soyul, indicating acceptance. Kong Soyul felt happiness came a bit suddenly. She looked at the phone screen in disbelief. It worked. It worked. With the current heat, viewers will skyrocket too. Her previous record was 8,584 viewers. She couldn't help but giggle. Everyone get ready to be shocked, because this will be a scene never before seen in the history of Reverse Planet. She immediately posted an announcement. Going to hold a hack clarification stream. Hello everyone. This is the hottest person recently, right? Mr. Baek Yu-hyan's hack controversy. Clarification stream regarding this controversy. 4 days later, Baek Yu-hyan logged into the game again. Kong Soyul greeted him immediately. Hello. You must have felt bad these past few days, right? I feel like it turned out this way because of me. I'm really sorry. It's okay. I actually don't care much. Rather than that, Soyul, don't you suspect me? Kong Soyul was a bit surprised. I saw your moves with my own eyes that day. Besides, the evidence people claim for hacks is weak. Most importantly, because of your eyes that looked like a crazy serial killer, I didn't dare think in that direction. She realized she slipped up after speaking. That was intuition. Then she took out a camera. Anyway, if you're ready, the stream starts. Hello, everyone. Sorry to keep you waiting. Kong Soyul said while making a peace sign. The netizens couldn't wait. Wow, finally started. Explain. Dying of waiting. Is this the hack seller stream? Hacker. Fried chicken, ha 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 ha. I specifically ordered fried chicken. Clearly a hack. What's there to explain? I'll shift to neutral and watch for now. As Kong Soyul predicted, the stream broke 10,000 viewers right at the start. She had to marvel at the high heat. This shows everyone is very concerned about this hack controversy. So, I invited Mr. Yu-hyan again. Hello, I am Baek Yu-hyan. As soon as he appeared, the cursing started. Crazy hacker. So thick-skinned. What's the fun in playing games with hacks? Of course, some defended him. That what's with the chat reaction? What if he's not a hacker? Brats who still believe he's not a hacker. Careful of being brainwashed. Don't you know to stay neutral until results are out? So is a hack or not? Anyway, all kinds of comments were there. Kong Soyul couldn't stand it. Everyone, please observe chat etiquette. If it gets too extreme, I will disable the chat function. Before the formal verification, what does Mr. Yu-hyan think about this controversy? I find it speechless. A controversy arose just because of this level. His words made the netizens explode again. Just turned Reverse Planet upside down and says this is the humble brag of a Coliseum high ranker. The hacker is pretending now. Ha ha. Kong Soyul also felt some netizens were right that indeed, saying that operation was too amazing. So how do you plan to explain? Netizens were expectant. Good question. Just for today's verification, we invited a special guest. He should be arriving soon. Unexpectedly, Kong Soyul kept them in suspense. The next second, a man appeared. This was the guest Kong So-yeol invited. Even more explosive was the name above his head. GM. Hello, I am Park Geum-hyeon, Operation Team 1 leader of Planet Earth Korea branch. The netizens were truly shocked. Who from where? Wow. To prove it's not a hack, they actually called the GM. Haha, what? Not an impersonator. It's real. He has the GM title above his head. That only appears for operators authorized by the head office. Crazy X. Haha, looks like it's really not a hack. Those who were shouting, what now? A glimmer of hope ignited in Baek Yu-hyeon's eyes. Since he's the operation team leader, he likely knows something. After the verification ends, I have to ask him various questions. The three bowed to each other. Thank you for coming all this way. I am streamer Kong So-yeol. I am Baek Yu-hyeon. Nice to meet you. Park Geum-hyeon looked at Baek Yu-hyeon before him. Is this the Baek Yu-hyeon who caused the issue? He doesn't look special on the outside. Then, please follow me to the verification location. The three soon arrived at a metal room. This is the personal training room. You can practice using abilities or conduct combat training. As communicated beforehand, the verification will be done by observing multiple rounds of combat to confirm if there is any external program assistance. Baek Yu-hyeon observed. This is a space I haven't seen in that world. Park Geum-hyeon looked at Baek Yu-hyeon. Do you agree? Yes. Since that's the case, it's easy. The next second, an Edinal appeared. Wow, isn't this the intermediate version Edinal? No assist plus a build with only the first core element. Winning against an intermediate training robot from the start. I don't understand this game. Is that strong? Can't compare to the early version in the tutorial. We will start directly with the intermediate training robot. Baek Yu-hyeon's pupils changed immediately. Perfect existence mode activated. The spirit's voices sounded again. Yu-hyeon. I'm so scared. Avenge me. Yu-hyeon. Park Geum-hyeon looked at the test tablet in his hand. He announced the slaughter officially began. As soon as his voice fell, he was startled. He found Baek Yu-hyeon beside him had vanished. Immediately after, a fragment flew towards him. He hurriedly blocked it with the tablet, afraid it would hit him. The stream became lively again. He crushing the intermediate Edinal with bare hands right now? That thing remains unscathed, even if hit by a sledgehammer. Shivering. But am I the only one finding it a bit scary? True horror. Edinal looks so pitiful. Crazy. They saw Baek Yu-hyeon stepping on the Edinal, holding a component in his hand. But Park Geum-hyeon's detection tablet showed no external program intervention detected. This is absolutely impossible to be a hack. It ended just like that. But Park Geum-hyeon wasn't resigned. The verification time was too short. He decided to increase the intensity. The next second, three Edinals surrounded Baek Yu-hyeon, and Baek Yu-hyeon took out his death scythe. In reality, he's a sunny, handsome guy. In the game, he's a cold and ruthless killing god. And in every game he plays, he's a human-shaped hack. Even the technical developer on the side was shock frozen. He used all means, but couldn't detect Baek Yu-hyeon using hacks. In just a few minutes, the viewer count broke 100,000 plus. At this time, the first round of testing had ended. But Park Geum-hyeon didn't get the result he wanted. Although no external programs were detected in this battle, the verification time was too short after all. Could you please fight according to the method specified here? It's originally to confirm if it's an auto-combat hack. Baek Yu-hyeon had no reason to refuse that auto-combat hacks are basically operated by proxy programs. Therefore, by setting the winning method before the battle, if you can fight as requested, it proves it's not a hack. Park Geum-hyeon didn't expect Baek Yu-hyeon to be so easy to talk to. He had already thought of how to test next. Thank you. Then this time, please use the chain scythe to cut off the heads of three intermediate training robots. Baek Yu-hyeon indicated no problem. Seeing him agree so readily, Park Geum-hyeon became unsettled. What is going on? It's clearly an absolutely disadvantageous condition, yet I don't feel like he'll lose at all. Immediately, three Edinals appeared. They attacked Baek Yu-hyeon simultaneously, wanting to finish him in one hit. But Baek Yu-hyeon had already teleported to a distance the moment they attacked. It's impolite not to reciprocate. Once Baek Yu-hyeon made a move, the chain scythe had already done a great deed. The Edinals' bodies had already been sliced open. He just gave a handsome look back. The three Edinals shattered into pieces on the ground, and even the corner of his clothes was clean. This was a one-hit kill. Kong So-yeol got excited seeing this. I knew I didn't see it wrong back then. The scythe flew around like it was alive. You all saw it, right? The netizens in the stream interacted again. What did I just watch? The chain scythe is really a cheat weapon. Not the scythe is a cheat. That big shot is the cheat, right? The scythe is originally used to hook enemies from a distance. Park Ji-hyun also just recovered from a shock. With this, the data required for verification has been sufficiently collected. But as the operator of this game, pure curiosity welled up. Can he defeat a high-level training robot with just one core element? Although this counts as a bit of selfishness. One last try. As the large metal door slowly opened, a pair of blood-red robot eyes appeared. It was actually a female version of Edinal. The netizens looked disbelieving. Bringing that out? Isn't this a bit too much? The operator is getting serious. If he can win even this, the National Certification Association has to certify him as a human-shaped hack. Verification will be conducted via the high-level training robot. This is the late-stage version of Edinal. Baek Yu-hyun stood opposite it, calm as the wind. No emotions could be seen. He remembered clearly. Countless test subjects died at this guy's hands. Back then, Edinal actually showed a cruel and perverted expression. Thinking of this, Baek Yu-hyun exploded with killing intent. But Edinal attacked first violently. This was the first time Baek Yu-hyun got hurt. A line of blood was actually grazed on his face. But passively getting beaten wasn't his style. He clenched his fist, dodging Edinal's combo punches. The air was beaten into sonic booms. From the wall behind him, it was clear. If hit by a punch, he would definitely go meet his grandma immediately. Indeed, stronger than the intermediate one by more than a level. With my current state, my body hardness isn't enough. My attacks can't break the opponent's defense at all. And the opponent's speed is super fast too. Since that's the case, I'll hit until the defense breaks. Kang So-yeol and Park Ji-hyun were stunned. The netizens felt he was crazy. Other than crazy, I really have nothing to say. No, he would die if hit once. I'm a bit scared now. He would die if hit once, yet he absolutely doesn't get hit. Park Ji-hyun didn't expect it either. There really is someone who can confront a high-level training robot head-on with just one core element. He even seemed at a disadvantage at first, but started to suppress it gradually just now. Is this operation reasonable? But this is the truth. He felt there was no need to continue observing. He tapped the screen. The next second, Edinal's figure disappeared from before Baek Yu-hyun's eyes. This stunned Baek Yu-hyun. He wanted to kill Edinal. Park Ji-hyun walked towards him. Data required for verification collected. Training robot removed. Only then did Baek Yu-hyun know why Edinal suddenly disappeared. Kang So-yeol hurriedly asked how the verification result was. This was also what the netizens cared about. It is confirmed definitely that there was no external program intervention. That is, simply put, not a hack. Some individual netizens still couldn't accept others being better than them. Why isn't a hack? Why exactly? The operator announced it officially. Finally proved not a hack. People just insisted it was a hack without evidence from the start. Haha. Breaking news. Rita, who started the rhythm saying it was a hack, deleted the post. Kang So-yeol also felt relieved that I told you, right? Not a hack. Is anyone still doubting? How could there still be? Ha ha ha. Stop blowing. How can you win against official confirmation with imagination? Haters have to shut up after watching this. For real. But why does this guy look more excited? Ha ha. I've seen some bragging about hack-level operations before. This is the real hack-level operation. Hack-level operation? Kang So-yeol's eyes lit up hearing this. That phrase is nice. Anyway, everyone remember clearly. Yu-hyun didn't use hacks, but possesses hard skills like a hack. Alright, since verification is over, lastly, can I ask you to say a sentence of your thoughts? Baek Yu-hyun said, "Thanks for your hard work." Park Ji-hyun laughed, saying it was very interesting. Today's stream ends here. See you next stream. Looking at the data, viewers exceeded 100,000. Netizens were reluctant to part. Ending already? No sense of reading the room. I just arrived. We only agreed to do the clarification stream, after all. But today's stream was a famous scene. Bye-bye. Thank you both again for allowing the stream participation. I should be the one thanking you for readily agreeing to the verification request, especially Yu-hyun. Surprisingly, Park Ji-hyun was quite polite. Then he prepared to log out of the game. But Baek Yu-hyun stopped him. Please wait. There is something I want to ask you. Park Ji-hyun paused upon hearing this. What you want to ask is, are there any bugs or such in the game? For example, cases where one cannot log out of the game. due to a bug? Park Ji-hyun had question marks on his face. This was the first time he heard this. Well, I haven't heard of such a thing. If there really was such a fatal bug, Reverse Planet wouldn't have become a world-class game, right? True, I understand. Baek Yoo-hyun still didn't get an answer. Accompanied by a screen of particle light, Park Ji-hyun went offline. Kang So-yeol caught her breath. Finally over. Yoo-hyun, you really work hard today. All right. Also, I want to settle the stream earnings for you. Can I contact you later? Baek Yoo-hyun felt money was unnecessary, but contacting him was okay. What he didn't know was that Kang So-yeol had her own little plan that's too a pity to let him go like this. A walking human content material is right in front of me. Do you have anything else to say? But in the end, Kang So-yeol didn't have the courage to say it. After all, this stream was only requested up to the clarification segment. Let's give up for today. Then she indicated it was nothing. Then I'll contact you next time. Baek Yoo-hyun looked at the pop-up before him. Less harvest than expected. A bit disappointed. Just then, Young Na-yeon sent a message. Stream ended, right? Meet directly in the combat preparation room. Young Na-yeon had a gossipy face again. How did it feel doing the stream? The reaction on the forum is super hot right now. Completely viral. Baek Yoo-hyun felt he still wasn't used to it. Have to mind the chat window. Playing games while chatting feels uncomfortable. Is that so? Then if you don't mind. I say if. Don't mind the chat window. Just play the game alone. Is that okay? Baek Yoo-hyun didn't know what she was plotting, that I'll set everything up for you. Try it once and decide. Baek Yoo-hyun didn't expect to be forced to work again. He didn't want to stream or anything originally. Then it's about time to go play PvP. Young Na-yeon really made decisions on her own. PvP, short for player versus player, refers to battles between players. Together with PV, they're called the two god-tier gameplays of Reverse Planet. PvP, you call me to the combat preparation room suddenly just for this? Of course. You're quitting the game without playing Reverse Planet with me? That's too heartbreaking. Baek Yoo-hyun couldn't stand this the most. Not that. I feel this game doesn't suit me very well. I plan to stop playing for a while, returning to that distant world too. But Young Na-yeon stared at him intently. PvP is the essence of Reverse Planet. Don't jump to conclusions after just playing a bit of the tutorial. He felt Young Na-yeon made some sense. Although the story mode PV is almost the same as the world over there, PvP is all things I haven't seen. Maybe there will be things different from story mode. Understood. I'll try. Yay. Then let me explain PvP to you. First is duel. As the name suggests, it's a duel with a matched opponent. There's singles, 1 versus 1, and doubles, 2 versus 2. Adopts a best-of-3 format. Next is Battle Scramble. Occupation War, Scramble, Escort War, Annihilation War. This is choosing one of 4 modes to conduct a fixed 5 versus 5 team battle. Then what we're playing today is Survival, dropping 100 people into multiple areas, scavenging equipment to fight. A battle royale where the last surviving person or team wins. Since it's the first time today, let's play team mode. Also, to play PvP, you have to assemble a suitable build first. Let me recommend one to you. Baek Yoo-hyun indicated that wasn't necessary. He happened to know a pretty good build. The build that made him known as Superman in the world over there. I'll click it while you prepare to connect. Okay, then I'll prepare immediately. The starting point is indeed the military base as the standard operation, right? Military base, one of the PvP survival maps. A place where various high-level equipment is distributed evenly. Because high-level players gather there, it's not suitable for beginners. At this time, Young Na-yeon started acting up again. Really? Can I record us playing PvP today? I want to upload it to short video platforms. Is that okay? Baek Yoo-hyun looked disgusted. Told her to stay away. Recording is fine. But calm down. Yay. Then I'll connect immediately. He just couldn't understand. Why is this kid so excited? Then Young Na-yeon pressed the button. 2 pop-ups popped out. Starting point determined as Area 1 military base. Time remaining until game start, 60 seconds. Young Na-yeon saluted. Let's meet alive. Friend. Immediately, Baek Yoo-hyun appeared in an abandoned building. Appearing with him was a green-clothed man. At this time, he hadn't realized the danger yet. 0.3 RD floor corridor. Damn, can't find anything good here. Hurry and move to another place. As soon as his voice fell, Baek Yoo-hyun appeared behind him. Then a burst of fire light soared to the sky. Young Nayeon looked at the pop-up that suddenly appeared. Baek Yu-hyeon killed. Lucky day. Young Nayeon didn't expect it to be so fast. .1 kill right at the start. Indeed, hack-level operations are different. Then several pop-ups appeared in succession. Baek Yu-hyeon killed pointy rice. Baek Yu-hyeon killed fried chicken is true love. Baek Yu-hyeon killed Kim Ho-woon. Baek Yu-hyeon killed No, How Did I Die? Baek Yu-hyeon killed strongest Jeonju. Young Nayeon was stunned silly. At this moment, she also experienced the thrill Kong So-yeol felt. An ID anonymous viewer 62, but it made Baek Yu-hyeon, this human weapon, feel a chill all over his body. Originally, this stream was a hunting stage set up for him from the start, and Young Nayeon, this girl who usually looks delicate, was actually a genius with devil genes. In order to satisfy her wish for the stream, Baek Yu-hyeon took down a 10-win streak, like chopping melons and vegetables. At this time, the game had just begun. Looking at the names of players dying one by one, Young Nayeon was stunned. What exactly is Baek Yu-hyeon doing? Just then, another player named Slime Monster was taken out. Fatal wound on the chest. Baek Yu-hyeon suspected he was the last survivor in this area, because he couldn't feel other players' presence now. But what he didn't expect was, when he went down, he would run into 4 people at the same time. But for him, it was just a matter of a few more moves. He sent them away easily, like chopping melons and vegetables. Teammates, after all, they should die neatly together. Since the looting was over, he started to head out slowly. But just then, he received a distress message from Young Nayeon. Baek Yu-hyeon, help me. There are too many enemies here. I'm completely surrounded. Baek Yu-hyeon checked the shared map. It was the block on the opposite side. Quite far, but he signaled he was coming right now. Where are you in the building? I'm on the 3rd floor roof. But the sounds of fighting downstairs aren't a joke right now. It seems like they're fighting on every floor. Be careful. As soon as Baek Yu-hyeon went downstairs, he encountered 2 people. This startled him. Hey, be behind. What the hell is that bastard? Why is he so fast? They couldn't figure it out. One of them was decisive. He immediately ordered his companion to prepare an ability while he tried to block. But before he could finish speaking, Baek Yu-hyeon had already sent him to meet the King of Hell, slicing off one of his arms in the process. At this moment, a pop-up appeared. Baek Yu-hyeon killed Tiger. The player next to him looked in disbelief. And oh, what is this? Is an agility build even for a physical enhancement type? He saw a purplish-black mist rising from Yu-hyeon's hands. Then he slammed them onto the ground ruthlessly. The purplish-black mist formed a forest of spikes over 10 meters long on the ground. Seeing the attack coming, Baek Yu-hyeon jumped into the air. It looked like he was going to do a backflip. The moment he landed, he had already killed the man. The man hadn't expected him to calculate to this extent. Baek Yu-hyeon killed Baby T-Rex. After dealing with the 2, Baek Yu-hyeon didn't stay. He started to jog. Young Nayeon was still waiting for him. Soon, the next unlucky guy appeared. A blonde with short hair named Treat Me to Fried Chicken. He soon arrived in front of Young Nayeon's building. Young Nayeon didn't expect him to be so fast. She hypocritically asked if he needed support. Baek Yu-hyeon told her to wait there. He grabbed the door handle. Sensing the number of people inside, it seemed there were 5 people. As soon as he opened the door, a camper was waiting behind the door with a weapon. Seeing Baek Yu-hyeon enter, he immediately revealed a perverted smile. Then he slashed down without hesitation. But Baek Yu-hyeon, reacting later but arriving first, grabbed his wrist. This shocked him greatly. Immediately after, he felt like he was hit by a truck. This single punch sent him straight to his death. But Baek Yu-hyeon seemed a bit dissatisfied. Looks like I need to increase the speed more. Then he rushed up the stairs with a few jumps. Another pile of pop-ups appeared. He took out 4 people in one breath. Young Nayeon on the roof was dumbfounded. Wow, this guy is really fierce. He's completely slaughtering noobs. But the next second, she was startled. The weapon in her hand swept out horizontally without hesitation, accompanied by traces of electric current. It turned out it was Baek Yu-hyeon who had arrived. Young Nayeon's attack was, of course, easily dodged by him. What the? You scared me. I didn't realize until you were right next to me. This is completely a rhythm of one person getting 14 kills. Young Nayeon at this moment was completely different from usual. Holding a chainsaw buzzing with electricity, she looked just like a devil. It was Baek Yu-hyeon's first time seeing this too. He felt it wouldn't matter even if he didn't come. Young Nayeon smiled awkwardly. This was the only weapon nearby. Then she changed the subject. Are all the enemies in this building cleared? With a weapon in hand, she felt a bit inflated. She shamelessly said she would carry Baek Yu-hyun for the rest of the match. Eventually, the two finished this survival duo game in first place. Next, they played 10 more times. Each time, they finished the game in first place. By this time, Young Na-yeon was tired as a dog. She didn't expect to really get a 10-win streak, that I really don't have the energy to stream anymore today. Let's stop here. But the way she looked at Baek Yu-hyun was very strange. She thought he was just an ordinary college friend. She didn't expect him to be a crazy human weapon. No matter what, she had to pull Baek Yu-hyun into the streaming circle. Baek Yu-hyun didn't know what she was thinking. At this moment, Young Na-yeon started acting pitiful again. Can you, even just for 2 days, not accept the main quest yet? Wait for me. I'll come up with a decent broadcast plan during that time. Baek Yu-hyun expressed no interest. Besides, he hadn't planned on doing any main quests anyway. Young Na-yeon, being herself, started making decisions on her own again. Anyway, just listen to it first. I'll come back fully prepared. See you later. Saying that, she logged off, giving Baek Yu-hyun no chance to refuse again, leaving behind a speechless Baek Yu-hyun. This time, he returned in disappointment again. In the end, he couldn't get any clues in PvP either. At this time, Kang So-yeol was comfortably lying on her bed, scrolling through her phone. She was looking at the Reverse Planet forums. The content was definitely about Baek Yu-hyun and her. As she watched, she started rolling around on the bed, giggling. Day back. Too amazing. 100,000 viewers. Will something like this ever happen in my streamer life again? It would be great if I could keep streaming with Yu-hyun Nim. She felt she should have been more persistent earlier, but she didn't remember Baek Yu-hyun explicitly stating he wasn't interested in streaming. He was too firm from the start. But the most important thing now was to clear up the settlement. Let's see how much came in. But immediately, her eyes widened. The next day, Young Na-yeon asked Baek Yu-hyun out again. She also brought a laptop. Baek Yu-hyun seemed a bit absent-minded. Calling me out suddenly, I thought something happened. A few drops of cold sweat appeared on Baek Yu-hyun's forehead. What on earth is this? On the screen was a cute blue cat. What else could it be? This is the PPT I stayed up all night preparing. Baek Yu-hyun was truly speechless. This quality is what you stayed up all night for? Yu-hyun, didn't you say? If it's a broadcast where you don't need to interact with viewers and just play the game yourself, it would be okay? Baek Yu-hyun didn't recall saying that. But Young Na-yeon went straight into self-output mode. So, how about an observational variety show format? Observational variety? Baek Yu-hyun obviously didn't understand it well. Observational variety is a program format where multiple cast members gather in a studio to watch recordings of other cast members. You play the game. I'll do the interaction. If you think I'm not enough alone, we can invite a professional commentator. I'll give you 60 of the revenue. I'll take 40. How about it? These conditions aren't bad, right? I said I'm not interested. No, you seem to not understand the revenue of streaming very well. Wait, didn't you receive the settlement money from So-yeol Nim this time? Hearing this, Baek Yu-hyun remembered. Come to think of it, I did receive an email this morning. Because of Young Na-yeon, he rushed out and hadn't had time to check it yet. He opened the email. The title was Yu-hyun Nim explaining the first settlement payment. Sender, Kang So-yeol. For just one broadcast, Kang So-yeol voluntarily shared 6 million won with him. Young Na-yeon was incredibly envious seeing this. How much? 6 million? No. Seeing this amount, don't you have any thoughts of streaming? What concerned him the most was that there was a message. But the next second, Baek Yu-hyun's face changed drastically. These messages were all sent by someone named Anonymous Viewer 62. Hello, Mr. Yu-hyun. Glad to see you again. How does it feel to be back in reality? I have prepared a new special mission for you. Let's meet in the broadcast from now on. Below every message was a large sum of money. Baek Yu-hyun really couldn't stay calm. The number 62 was something he would never forget in his life, that he knows I came back from that side. Plus this nickname. It's almost like it's targeting me as experiment subject number 62. Who is it? Baek Yu-hyun stood up abruptly. Who the hell knows I came back from that side? He looked at Young Na-yeon. Can we find out the sponsor's information? Young Na-yeon was a bit confused. Why ask this suddenly? Because of privacy protection, it's theoretically impossible, right? Baek Yu-hyun stared at the phone that it's also impossible to send a private message to the other party first. I guess I can only communicate during a live broadcast. Immediately, he agreed to Young Na-yeon's proposal. He would stream. This happiness came a bit suddenly. Young Na-yeon confirmed unconfidently. Oh, really? You can't take it back later, okay? She immediately posted an announcement. Breaking news. God of Hacks appears in solo stream. August 2nd, 2041, 7 p.m. Nuclear sightseeing content will be presented. Cast. Nuclear weapons / Cha, Song Chul / Young Nayan. The man had clearly proven he was the Scythe Death God, yet he was still chased by the Research Institute guards. In reality, 3 million people crowded into the livestream room just to watch hack god Baek Yu-hyan play games. But what shocked them the most was that Baek Yu-hyan actually revealed information about the future. What they didn't know was that Baek Yu-hyan had been trapped in the game for 10 years, fighting his way up from a lowly experiment subject to a Superman. Any mode in the game was a piece of cake for him. Friday evening was beautiful. People harbored their own expectations, enjoying their leisure time. And those who called themselves gamers were all gathered wholeheartedly in front of their computers. At this moment, what they were most concerned about was the collaboration stream hosted by Baek Yu-hyan and the other two. But who is Young Nayan? Still, some people knew her. She does personal streams. Heard she's a friend of the Hack God. By this time, people had already ordered fried chicken, waiting for the Hack God's game stream. 5 minutes before the game started, inside the relay studio, Young Nayan was being very uncool. She was trembling with nervousness. Cha Song-chul was a nice guy, comforting her from the side that don't worry too much. We are well prepared. Nothing will go wrong. Cha Song-chul is a professional commentator for Reverse Planet. To relieve the awkwardness, she touched her head. I didn't expect that besides SSI, there would be someone else who could invite the Hack God. The reason Cha Song-chul agreed so readily was simply because Young Nayan said she was Baek Yu-hyan's friend. The broadcast went straight into countdown. By this time, Young Nayan had adjusted herself. Hello everyone. I am Young Nayan. Glad to see you all. Viewers, I am Cha Song-chul. Soon, netizens started to support that. Oh, what is this? Where's the Hack God? Hand over the Hack God. A drop of cold sweat appeared on Young Nayan's face. That IT seems many people are panicked because they didn't see the Hack God at the opening. But it's too early to be disappointed. The Hack God is already in the game. Immediately, the screen switched to the game. Baek Yu-hyan had already turned on the personal information protection mode. The chat room instantly boiled over. It's the Hack God. Ban all those guys who said it was clickbait. Just him spinning the dagger is so cool. Trembling. I'm so excited right now. Trembling, shivering. As you can see, the content of the Hack God sightseeing will be conducted in the format of an observational variety show. That is, watching the Hack God's gameplay while providing commentary and explanation. Everyone must be curious about how exactly the Hack God plays RP. Then let's officially confirm it. Immediately, Young Nayan connected to Baek Yu-hyan, starting. Otherworld Administration Bureau notification. Please rescue the survivor so they can safely evacuate from the forest and rendezvous with our forces. Immediately a pop-up appeared. Main quest. Rendezvous with the Otherworld Administration Bureau. Avoid the guards searching to capture the escaped experiment subject and rendezvous with the Otherworld Administration Bureau located on the outskirts of the forest. Baek Yu-hyan was familiar with this. It was the same as back then. In that world, just running for his life took all his effort. This time, immediately, he let out a roar. This naturally attracted the attention of the guards. Over there, surround him from 3 sides. It seemed Baek Yu-hyan did it on purpose. He wanted to avenge the spirits. Facing the people on the ground, 2 in the air, Baek Yu-hyan had already placed his hand on the chain sickle. He had only one goal. That was to kill them all. This was the dying wish of his companions. Immediately, 2 of the opponents sprayed fire with machine guns. Baek Yu-hyan dodged while wielding the chain sickle, accurately hitting a machine gun. First round, cold weapon complete victory. The guard was shocked seeing this. Then he was swallowed by an explosion. Baek Yu-hyan jumped into the air with a flash. The guard laughed seeing this. Idiot, delivering yourself to us? But Baek Yu-hyan's hands weren't idle. He threw out the chain. What the 2 guards didn't notice was that the chain had already gone around their backs. After circling once, it tied a knot. Baek Yu-hyan pulled hard with both hands. The 2 instantly collided. Baek Yu-hyan swung the chain quickly. The 2 slammed hard into the ground for an intimate contact. Immediately, a mouthful of tomato juice sprayed out. Baek Yu-hyan descended from the sky to send them on their final journey. It turned out he had already entered the perfect existence mode. At this moment, he was mysterious and powerful. Jung Nayan's mouth opened so wide it almost hit the floor. This isn't the RP I know. Cha Songcheol was also greatly shocked. I've been commentating RP for so long, but this is the first time I've seen this kind of gameplay. No strategic consideration at all, just luring all enemies over. The netizens understood Baek Yu-hyan better. Originally, the existence of the hack god is a strategy in itself. Too lazy to search, so just let the enemy come over. Isn't this common sense? I thought he would kill monsters he encountered. I am reflecting. Seeing him suddenly shout, I thought he went crazy. Was doing something else and got scared. Came running to watch. Ha ha. Netizen, I love cats, donated 50,000 won. Expressing his perfect existence too unfair? Why do skills have no cooldown? Jung Nayan turned to look at Cha Songcheol. Perfect existence is too unfair. What do you think of this opinion? I can assert, absolutely not. Most skills have inherent cooldown times. Because of this, the hack god's playstyle of not relying on cooldowns and directly utilizing core actions might look a lot like cheating. But perfect existence merely amplifies physical abilities. It doesn't improve combat intelligence or weapon proficiency. Even more, the hack god is in no assist mode, right? Speaking extremely, it means as long as the physical quality keeps up, the hack god can fight like that in reality too. In other words, it's precisely because the hack god is using it that perfect existence can display that kind of performance. Just then, a voice reached Baek Yu-hyan's ears, surround him, for dark muzzles were aimed at him. At this time, the leader spoke that we are from the Otherworld Administration Bureau. Put down your weapons and surrender obediently. His name is Kim Cheol, team leader of the Otherworld Administration Bureau. The so-called Otherworld Administration Bureau is a government department that mops up individuals invading through portals, mainly responsible for detaining dangerous invading individuals and mopping them up in the reverse world where dimensions are chaotic. Baek Yu-hyan raised his hands. Bureau Chief Kim Cheol. No, at this point in time, he should be team leader. He didn't expect to see him here. Kim Cheol also noticed the clothes Baek Yu-hyan was wearing at Oh, it's a victim who escaped from the research institute. Sorry, excuse me. Everyone stand down. Baek Yu-hyan indicated it was okay, but that walkie-talkie. Baek Yu-hyan said an agent inside the institute gave it to him. Kim Cheol looked a bit sorrowful. Seems like they sacrificed themselves. Team leader Kim Cheol, just like over there. Very humane. Then, before identity verification, please stay at the Otherworld Administration Bureau, because sometimes institute personnel pretend to be victims. Immediately, he ordered the team members to retreat. Baek Yu-hyan was already familiar with being invited for tea. He didn't mind. Thank you for your cooperation. I'll lead the way. At this time, a robotic sound rang out. Main quest. Rendezvous with the Otherworld Administration Bureau. Complete. Level up. Obtained 1 ability point. The scene changed. Otherworld Administration Bureau Headquarters. Baek Yu-hyan sat in the consultation room of the Otherworld Administration Bureau. He didn't expect to come here either. In that world, after escaping from the lab, he solved corporate requests while raising funds for revenge. Although the requests included assassination and kidnapping, but the biggest portion was still reverse world subjugation. Corporations launched unauthorized reverse world cleanups for loot. Once they felt the loot was useless, they pushed the cleanup work to him. Naturally, he had to get involved with the Otherworld Administration Bureau. Although there were experiences of cooperative subjugation, there were also several times they drew blades against each other due to conflicts. Just then, the sound of high heels rang out. Hello, Mr. Baek Yu-hyan. I am Agent Lee Eugene of Team 1, Otherworld Administration Bureau. Seeing a beauty appear, the chat room became active again. Eugene Uni. Woo woo woo. Indeed, top 3 beauty in RP. TSK. Lee Eugene. Hello. Lee Eugene pulled up a chair and sat down. That you've worked hard coming all this way. Now, there are 2 choices before Mr. Yu-hyan. First, accept the protection of the Otherworld Administration Bureau and live as a civilian. In this case, the use of abilities is strictly prohibited. Second, become an agent belonging to the Otherworld Administration Bureau. Of course, choosing the latter doesn't mean you can immediately act as a formal agent. You need to undergo appropriate training. You will only be deployed to actual combat after being judged ready. Baek Yu-hyan didn't make a sound. In that world, he had even killed agents of the Otherworld Administration Bureau to become companions now. At this time, Lee Eugene's voice rang out again. So, civilian or agent? Which side will you choose? Baek Yu-hyan seemed a bit nervous. The man just used the simplest sword drawing technique. It made the genius pro gamer facing him break down on the spot. Just because no matter how he attacked, Baek Yu-hyan could kill him in one move. This is the gap between a genius and the hack god. Facing Lee Eugene's question, civilian or agent, what to choose? Baek Yu-hyan started thinking, if I choose civilian, I'll probably accept corporate requests like over there. He didn't want to walk that path here too. And he was also curious about the internal situation of the Otherworld Administration Bureau. So he chose to be an agent of the Otherworld Administration Bureau without hesitation. Lee Eugene was very satisfied with Baek Yu-hyan's choice. Good thinking. Having Mr. Yu-hyan join will be a great help. Recently, corporations keep poaching awakened ones, causing a severe manpower shortage. Lee Eugene was also helpless. After all, few people can refuse high salaries. And she wasn't saying this just because she was a bureau agent, but I heard many people regretted signing with corporations. The reason is that corporations are just starting out now. Experience in cultivating awakened ones is obviously insufficient. Often they don't even take responsibility for accidents during training. In contrast, the Otherworld Administration Bureau is a group with a long history, possessing rich experience in cultivating awakened ones and subjugating reverse worlds. But Baek Yu-hyan wasn't a naive, sweet guy. He knew much more than Eugene. Indeed, the pay is better on the corporate side. But correspondingly, there are many dangerous jobs. Over there, many awakened ones lost their lives while executing corporate requests. There were even corporations that put on a stance of no money, just my life, and didn't pay. Although in the end, he really sliced open their stomachs to get the money. Also because of that incident, his identity as an unregistered awakened was exposed. He was tracked by the Otherworld Administration Bureau for quite a while. Come to think of it, he had met team leader Kim Cheol back then. Lee Eugene said she would now apply for Baek Yu-hyan's awakened registration with the computer team. Immediately, she pushed a phone to Baek Yu-hyan, saying it was for work. Baek Yu-hyan looked at the phone. Then what should I do first? Like I said earlier, first undergo training as an intern. Promote after your strength is verified. The team will be decided then too. But Lee Eugene had her own plans. Since teams are being assigned anyway, it would be great if you could come a team one like me. Baek Yu-hyan's EQ was still online, that I sincerely hope for that too. After all, he still owed a favor from over there, although many conflicts happened afterwards, conveying to the innocent victims trapped in the research institute. The one broadcasting at that time was Lee Eugene. Thanks to Lee Eugene leading the raid on the institute, he and his companions were able to survive. The two quickly reached an agreement. At this time, Young Nyan outside the game couldn't stay calm. Wait a minute. Everyone, don't you think this is a bit strange? Isn't the conversation with the NPC too natural? In her impression, aren't NPCs unable to communicate? She had reason to suspect a route change occurred in the middle. And the Lee Eugene she met was clearly like this. I can't believe it. Although I guessed it, it really is a fully responsive AI. Cha Song-cheol was trembling with excitement. The netizens weren't doing any better seeing this. Truly a masterpiece. No, this is actually possible. What is a fully responsive AI? The so-called fully responsive AI is an artificial intelligence NPC that can completely respond to any situation or request. Unlike existing NPCs, it can communicate freely because it's a technology that consumes extreme resources. Although the industry generally believed it couldn't be loaded into online games. Did they solve the resource problem perfectly? Probably not. If it were that kind of AI, there would be no reason to hide it as an Easter egg like now. They would have advertised it everywhere long ago. The ad title would definitely be written like this: Reverse Planet, making the impossible possible. Reverse Planet's fully responsive AI. I'm afraid it's set to apply that technology only when specific conditions are met. And that minimum condition is probably no correction from the start. After all, the only difference between nuclear weapon and other players is this. That is, combat correction is set to 0. Young Nyan acted like she hadn't seen the world. Baek Yu-hyan this guy really. Anyway, the forums must be exploding everywhere. Yes. What statement will Planet Earth release? I think I'll be too excited to sleep. The two commentators matched well. Also, since he has great interest in the story of Reverse Planet, he will definitely be interested in this situation. Maybe we can invite a big shot as a guest. Speaking of which, although it's regrettable, you said the promised story broadcast for today ends here, right? Yes. Please look forward to the next broadcast for follow-up content. From now on, we will switch to the PvP segment. The netizens were unhappy that don't cut it off at this time. When do we have to wait for the next broadcast? At this time, in the combat preparation room, Baek Hyun was ready. He had been waiting for anonymous viewer 62 to appear. He specifically instructed Young Nayeon that if someone with the ID anonymous viewer 62 donates or comments, tell me immediately, no matter what I'm doing. Young Nayeon didn't know why, but she promised. But Young Nayeon didn't contact him. He felt he had to stream a bit longer. At this time, he sent a message to Young Nayeon, ready. Then let's continue with PvP. The segment for today is Duel. By the way, today is Nuclear Weapons' first time playing Duel mode. Then he should start from the normal league. To explain for viewers who don't know, Reverse Planet has a total of 8 ranks. Bronze, để giải thích cho khán giả chưa biết, Ziva Planet tổng cộng có 8 bậc hạng. Dong, to Challenger. And to enter the bronze rank, you must achieve 10 wins in the normal league. According to statistics, pro players take an average of 30 minutes. Ordinary players take 2 hours. Netizens started self-reflecting. Damn, I'm actually below average. There are many smurfs in this game, so matchmaking luck is also important. Mission, reach bronze within 30 minutes. Upon completion, prize 500,000 won. Young Nayeon's eyes went straight hearing this. She immediately sent a message to Baek Hyun. Dayback, received the first mission. Is 10 consecutive wins in 30 minutes possible? Baek Hyun made an okay gesture. Oh ho, this confidence. Does he take pro players for scrubs? Ah, this is purely arrogance. Hurry, go go go. This is becoming very exciting. Okay, can Nuclear Weapons succeed? Please stay tuned to the end. But next, Baek Hyun would give them a huge surprise. PvP Duel Mode. Normal single match found. Điều này trở nên vô cùng hồi hộp đây. Được rồi, liệu Nuclear Weapons có thể thành công không? Mọi người hãy theo dõi đến cuối cùng. Nhưng tiếp theo, Baek Hyun sẽ mang đến cho họ một bất ngờ lớn. PvP đối quyết chế độ, phối hợp đơn nhân thường thành công. Zone 6, Residential Area. 10 seconds until round 1 starts. The next second, Cha Sung-cheol was startled. He saw Baek Hyun take out a weapon he hadn't seen before. This made his opponent overjoyed that I at a melee-only build. As long as I don't let him close the distance, it's practically a free win. Obviously, they all underestimated Baek Hyun, this nuclear weapon. As the countdown ended, round 1 officially began. The opponent used the ranged attack Cold Air Blast immediately. But the next second, a line appeared on his body. Because Baek Hyun had already finished his move, the poor opponent was split in half directly. Round 1 end. Winner Baek Hyun. Loser Anonymous. Current record. Baek Hyun 1 o'clock Anonymous. Immediately proceeding to the next round. Speaking of which, this anonymous player was also unlucky. Actually met Baek Hyun again. Egu. Met the smuffing dog again. Surrender. Surrender. Due to Anonymous. Surrender. Duel ended. Winner Baek Hyun. Loser Anonymous. Next was the second game. Baek Hyun slashed out with his sword. The opponent's attack was directly cut off. How ridiculous is Baek Hyun's god-level operation? Not only did he take a 30-win streak record in one go, he also tortured hacking players into human sticks. Even the world's most famous pro player battler had the urge to challenge him. But what the netizens feared most was Young Nayeon. At this time, the second game of PvP had just begun. The opponent only had time to say my shadow spear. His body was split in half like the first one. It can only be said that Baek Hyun is too strong. All one-hit kills. Current record. Baek Hyun 2 o'clock Melon Pan. Winner Baek Hyun. Loser Melon Pan. Next is the third game. This guy was actually a Taekwondo practitioner. Jump high up right from the start, leaving himself wide open. How could Baek Hyun miss such a good opportunity? Directly opened a killing line on his body. That hay-eating guinea pig died thoroughly. The fourth round was an instant kill as always. Just like that, Baek Hyun quickly harvested opponents. Soon he achieved 10 consecutive wins. The time taken was only 20 minutes. Young Nayeon and Cha Sung-cheol were stunned. And at this time, Baek Hyun's rank also rose from normal to bronze. Jung Na-yeon was even stuttering. After all, she was diamond rank. But in front of Baek Yu-hyan, she wasn't enough to look at are really amazing. How should I put it? I feel a sense of relative deprivation. Cha Sung-cheol didn't expect it either. 10 consecutive wins in 20 minutes. The netizens were also greatly shocked. What counts as this directly broke the pro player record. Summing it up in one word, it is, although the time is outrageous. What's more amazing is the match record. Usually, if you encounter a build with attribute countering or high risk, competitive state will fluctuate. I think fire style is hard to deal with. But nuclear weapon, no matter what build the opponent brings out, showed perfect performance with no fluctuations throughout the match. Simply a quick battle, quick decision. Netizen Pinecone even donated 500,000 WON. How'd he do that? Jung Na-yeon got excited seeing money. Thank you Pinecone Netizen for the donation. What kind of scenes will the upcoming ranked matches show? Really makes people look forward to it. Me too. But honestly, I'm a little worried. What's wrong? Since it's live streaming, sniping should be easy, right? Turns out he was worried about Baek Yu-hyan. But even so, the probability of successful sniping isn't high. He hoped he was worrying for nothing. As soon as his voice fell, a pop-up appeared. Zone 11, public cemetery. It happened. Seeing the person coming, Baek Yu-hyan was stunned. Who knew the yellow hair started spewing profanities as soon as he appeared. You thick-skinned bastard. Finally met you. Watch closely, big brothers. The hacker education class starts now. Netizens also started expressing their opinions. Could it be sniped in a first-rank game? No, how'd he do it? A real master. Still calling people hackers. The game company said no. Little ones, did you see? This is the average level of sniping dogs. The game company said no. What kind of people are still shouting hacks there? Baek Yu-hyan gripped the hilt of his sword. Cha Sung-cheol laughed, seeing this. Nuclear weapon didn't fall for his provocation. Jung Na-yeon immediately followed up because I instructed him. Ignore it if encountering this situation. Also, then the first round officially began. The man released elemental power immediately. Electricity crackled all over his body. Rushed towards Baek Yu-hyan with a whoosh. Drawing a golden electric arc in the air, you hacker. But the punches he threw were all easily dodged by Baek Yu-hyan. Didn't hit even once. Seriously, agreed on education TTT. Seriously, ended up being played like a monkey TTT. Who exactly is being educated? Really too ugly. Seeing him so confident, wanted to watch a bit longer. Just then, Baek Yu-hyan drew his sword. Just a simple slash. Directly hit the yellow hair's abdomen. What a waste of time. Round 1 end. The winner was of course Baek Yu-hyan, but the yellow hair had a foul mouth even when dying. Monster-like hacker. Next is the next round. There are 10 seconds to prepare in between. The yellow hair still had a sense of shame. Felt bored to death. Going to lose again like this. Looks like I can only use that. As the second round officially began, the yellow hair discharged electricity all over his body again. Baek Yu-hyan was a bit confused. Feel the atmosphere is sharper and heavier than just now. This time the yellow hair improved. His movements were extremely efficient, just like Ednal. Lần này tên tóc vàng đã có tiến bộ, động tác của hắn cực kỳ hiệu quả, giống hệt tên vậy. But his attacks were still futile. Seeing he couldn't hit Baek Yu-hyan, Blondie's expression became twisted. Do you get it now? You cheating bastard. I went easy on you in the first round. Just as he finished speaking, countless fists landed on Baek Yu-hyan. He was beaten like a sandbag. Baek Yu-hyan felt his earlier intuition was right. Is this what hack means? I remember now. However, even if you meet those who accuse you of hacking or provoke you on purpose, you must destroy them as thoroughly as possible. That's what she said. But hearing it from Jung Na-yeon's mouth, why is it so scary? Then Baek Yu-hyan entered perfect existence mode. A deep, ghostly aura radiated from him. Seeing this, Blondie broke into a cold sweat. What's the situation? The atmosphere suddenly. But he told himself there was no need to be afraid. No matter how you look at it, he has the absolute advantage. Immediately, he attacked. You. Stop pretending. Cheater. But the next second, Baek Yu-hyan vanished from his spot. He slashed out directly with his sword, passing by Blondie. Blondie turned around as tomato juice sprayed out. This bastard. But the next second, Baek Yu-hyan appeared beside him again. A sword slashed directly onto his arm. Blondie let out a miserable scream, raising his other fist to strike. Bastard. But Baek Yu-hyan's reputation as a human weapon wasn't just for show. He swung his sword directly at the punching hand. Blondie cried upon seeing this. Both hands were ruined. How could he play now? Jung Na-yun and Cha Song-cheol didn't know what to say. Everyone. Could it be? Yes. It looks like he's deliberately not dealing the final blow, right? He had many chances. It seems so. Godlike control really listens to Miss Na-yun's advice. Jung Na-yun felt a bit guilty hearing this, though I did say to crush him thoroughly. The chat room exploded. Monster created by Jung Na-yun. Shivering. Scary woman. He did that because of Jung Na-yun's advice. What advice will she give next? Only fear. Blondie was indeed terrified. Damn it. Who exactly are you? Baek Yu-hyan pointed his sword at him, returning your words exactly back to you. Then he gave him a quick death. Thus, the second round ended. After that, Baek Yu-hyan continued the duel with splitting momentum, securing 30 consecutive wins in one breath. Both Jung Na-yun and Cha Song-cheol were stunned. He already hit gold rank. I'm dizzy. I didn't expect him to set a record of 30 consecutive wins on his debut stream. I really didn't dare to breathe watching this. Is this what smuffing is? What did he eat to become like that? Please, can you tell me the build? Regarding this question, Jung Na-yun found it hard to answer, publicizing the build. Although ordinary people are usually sensitive about it, I'll go ask. Immediately, she sent a message to Baek Yu-hyan. Is it okay to publish this build? You can refuse if you don't want to. Unexpectedly, Baek Yu-hyan agreed directly. Jung Na-yun instantly got excited. Day back. Everyone. Godlike Control said he'll publish the build. I'll organize it and upload it to the community after the stream ends. The netizens didn't expect happiness to come so suddenly. Really? Publishing the build? I just asked casually, and it actually happened. Isn't publishing a build a very sensitive matter? I can only say Baek Yu-hyan is very confident. Jung Na-yun and Cha Song-cheol bowed deeply. Then we'll see you in the next stream. Thank you for watching for so long. After going off air, Cha Song-cheol also got excited. Day back. Super day back, right? Fully responsive AI. 30 consecutive wins. Even publishing the build. The major communities are going to explode. At this rate, won't he set a new record? What's the current highest win streak record again? Jung Na-yun saw countless amounts of money. Currently, the highest win streak record in Duel is Player Battler's 76 wins. That was a record he set while leveling a Smuff account. Anyway, I hope Yu-hyan can create a new record. If it's Yu-hyan, he definitely can. I strongly agree. Moreover, if it's Player Battler, known for his strong competitiveness, he might be watching Godlike Control right now, just as they predicted. At this moment, the game forums had already exploded. What was even more unexpected was that Blondie was reported for hacking and was permanently banned. There was also a message that caught one person's attention. Even if Battler comes, he can't win. And the person browsing this message was Battler himself. He found it very interesting. The girl only used the skill for the first time. Yet she was stabbed in the back by her apprentice. But what she never expected was, the one who saved her at the critical moment was actually Baek Yu-hyan. Is this still the junior who needed her training? Little did she know, Baek Yu-hyan had been trapped in the game for a full 10 years, going through hardships to become a Superman. Handling a reverse world that wasn't even medium-sized was a piece of cake. A few days later, the second live stream officially began. Anonymous Viewer 62 ultimately did not appear in the previous stream. Baek Yu-hyan fell in a deep thought. Was there still something lacking? Just then, Lee Eugene waved at him. Junior. She was dressed very sexily today. Black stockings and a uniform. The netizens had hearts in their eyes, even through the screen. AS expected of the beauty in the top 3 of Reverse Planet. She's really too pretty. First live combat mission. Aren't you nervous? But anyone who knew Baek Yu-hyan knew she asked the wrong person. Although the live combat came sooner than expected, it was completely child's play for Baek Yu-hyan. Moreover, as soon as he logged into the game, a new mission window popped up. First live combat mission issued. Please meet at the designated location after changing into your combat suit. Lee Eugene. Baek Yu-hyan thought this was great, being able to skip training. But what is the live combat mission this time? Lee Eugene told him, thoroughly sweep the invasive entities inside Reverse Planet and seal the space. After all, they received a report that it might be exposed. Also, this is a place abandoned by the corporations, because sometimes it helps with the sweep, although they tacitly allow and watch. Once they feel there's no benefit, they make a mess and then wash their hands of it. Lee Eugene also hated these corporations who wouldn't get up early without profit. Baek Yu-hyan deeply agreed with this. Sure enough, what those corporate guys do is the same everywhere. By the way, insect-type invasive entities. Their danger rating is low. They are clearly weak, but their numbers are high. They are a group that's troublesome to deal with. As soon as the two arrived at the entrance, the soldiers began to salute. Loyalty. I am Sergeant Park Ji-hyun. Are you two awakeners from the Otherworld Administration Bureau? Lee Eugene immediately took out her ID. Yes. Thank you for your hard work. Confirmation complete. Just go inside. The two soldiers were also very emotional. It was their first time seeing a portal appear in an abandoned factory. Baek Yu-hyun and Lee Eugene arrived in front of the portal, but Baek Yu-hyun felt it looked somewhat familiar. It turned out this was a place he had seen in that world too. But at that time, it was definitely not small scale, but medium-scale that there's a mistake. Just as they were about to enter, the sound of a dog barking rang out. Oh my, who is this? Why has our senior Lee Eugene come to a small-scale sweep? This unruly guy was named Choi Hyong-cheol. He was an awakener affiliated with Kim Shin Electronics. Lee Eugene was also a bit surprised. Choi Hyong-cheol, why are you? I was shocked too, okay? I didn't expect to overlap with senior's mission location. Lee Eugene didn't like them. You were so decisive when you washed your hands of it back then, and now you're here for a mission. Are you up to some scheme? Scheme? That's really hurtful. He then looked at Baek Yu-hyun. Who is this? A new junior? Then he leaned closer to Baek Yu-hyun. Don't suffer at the bureau. How about coming to the corporation? Hearing this, Lee Eugene wanted to beat the crap out of him. Mr. Choi Hyong-cheol, please don't cross the line anymore. Choi Hyong-cheol exaggeratedly raised his hands and took a few steps back. Understood. It's scary. I'll yield the turf here to you. Senior, you handle it. Then, thanks for your hard work. Baek Yu-hyun asked who he was. Lee Eugene facepalmed that he was the first trainee agent I led. She felt she was getting low blood sugar. After that bastard accepted the corporation's scouting and left, he started spreading malicious rumors about the bureau. Then she took out a fruit candy. Want one? Cha Sung-cheol was also very surprised. This is the first time the relationship between Lee Eugene and Choi Hyong-cheol has been shown in such detail, right? It's my first time seeing it too. Usually, it was glossed over as something bad happened. It must be the influence of the fully responsive AI. It might be providing a storyline with more depth. Some netizens felt that if a hidden storyline really appeared, it would be godlike. If it's planet Earth, maybe they really hid something. Lee Eugene calmed herself down. Let's stop the depressing topic here. Let's go in. Baek Yu-hyun expressed understanding. With a wave of energy fluctuation, Choi Hyong-cheol and his group immediately sensed it. Looks like they went in. Choi Hyong-cheol licked his lips. Then let's get to work too. Baek Yu-hyun and Lee Eugene had just entered the portal. Then there was another portal. Lee Eugene said, this was the passage leading to Reverse Planet. Pass through the portal opposite, and we can enter Reverse Planet. I see. It's the same as that world. But the next second, a sudden change occurred. The portal became unstable. Baek Yu-hyun suspected a sudden mutation. Lee Eugene turned her head and shouted at him, Junior! Then Lee Eugene disappeared. Baek Yu-hyun was transported deep into a forest. It seemed he was separated from Lee Eugene. He wasn't panicked about this. After all, passages collapsing due to external impact was a common occurrence. Immediately, he gripped his dagger, because blocking his way were several spiders. First, I have to deal with these guys. Then, find Lee Eugene. This was the first time Lee Eugene displayed her ability. Golden lightning radiated from her hand. Immediately, she chopped down with her palm. Diffusion thunder. The spiders in front of her were out of luck. Their bodies were directly cut in half by the lightning. They almost turned into roasted spiders. But Lee Eugene wasn't feeling good either. This strike consumed a lot of her energy, mainly because there were too many spiders in front of her. She couldn't kill them all no matter how many she killed. Moreover, looking at the scale of this forest, it felt more like a medium-sized reverse world than a small one. There's definitely something in here. She took a breath. She only hoped Baek Yu-hyun was safe and sound. But what she didn't notice was that Choi Hyong-cheol, this sneak, had already appeared behind her. Lee Eugene was shocked, but Choi Hyong-cheol's sneak attack succeeded. He slashed directly at her abdomen. Lee Eugene let out a groan of pain. She backhanded a thunder arc blade, but Choi Hyong-cheol dodged it. Lee Eugene couldn't understand. Why would Choi Hyong-cheol attack her? Choi Hyong-cheol. Why? Choi Hyong-cheol laughed. Who knows? You could say I'm executing a secret mission. I'm just following orders. Don't hate me too much. Then his accomplices also appeared. Lee Eugene knew now wasn't the time for talk. The wound was too deep. She had to flee from here first. Otherwise, she might die here. Then she chose a direction and threw a guardian stone. The moment it approached the target, it suddenly turned into a giant boulder. With a loud boom, the guardian stone exploded. Choi Hyang-cheol's unlucky accomplice spat out a mouthful of tomato juice. Then he smashed heavily onto the ground. Lee Eugene took the opportunity to flee past him. But Choi Hyang-cheol had come specifically to kill her. How could he let her go? So he cursed loudly. That idiot couldn't even stop one person. Chase her. Lee Eugene was like a wild horse off the reins, rushing far away in an instant. She clasped her hands together and used her ability again. Immediately, a shining golden thunder spear appeared. She did a pigeon flip and threw the thunder spear at Choi Hyang-cheol's trio. With a loud boom, the group had to stop to defend. Choi Hyang-cheol was instantly furious, scolding his companions severely. You trash. Why didn't you block her? What are you doing? Lee Eugene seized the time to run, looking for a hiding place nearby. Soon, a ground hole attracted her attention. Then Choi Hyang-cheol's trio lost her trail. Damn it. We lost her because of you. Go search ahead. But what they didn't know was that Lee Eugene was hiding right behind them. As soon as they left, Lee Eugene crawled out. If not for the decoy, something big would have happened. By the way, secret mission, what exactly is the corporation planning? At this time, Baek Yu-hyun had already eliminated all the monsters he saw. The netizens just loved this flavor of his. All instant kills. He had already killed dozens. Then he arrived at the place where Lee Eugene had her incident. He clearly felt Lee Eugene's aura here, but there were only messy footprints on the ground. Looks like something happened. But the next second, he heard Lee Eugene's voice. Baek Yu-hyun sprinted through the forest at extreme speed. When he arrived, he saw Lee Eugene entangled by a giant snake. The netizens also sweated for Lee Eugene that I didn't expect her to be suppressed by an insect. The next second, Baek Yu-hyun made his move. At this moment, he entered perfect existence mode again. A man, in order to avenge his beautiful boss, actually went deep into the enemy camp alone to fight 3 awakeners. With the dual support of strength and strategy, Baek Yu-hyun successfully took out the 3. And at this moment, Lee Eugene was in danger again. Baek Yu-hyun found her being constricted by a giant snake. Without a word, he leaped high, one hand gripping the dagger, the other palm pushing against the dagger's handle. The moment he passed by the giant snake's head was separated from its body. Lee Eugene fell down naturally. Baek Yu-hyun teleported beneath her, catching her in a princess carry. This set of actions was done in one breath. Baek Yu-hyun placed Lee Eugene on the ground, leaning her against a large tree. He asked with concern, "Are you okay?" Lee Eugene felt extremely embarrassed, but Baek Yu-hyun couldn't figure it out. With Lee Eugene's strength, it was impossible to be injured by this kind of insect, and the wound was deep. Looking at the wound on Lee Eugene, Baek Yu-hyun discovered it was caused by an ability. And in this situation, the only awakener who could do such a thing that Baek Yu-hyun could think of was Choi Hyang-cheol. Definitely correct. Looks like he followed us in immediately after the mutation occurred. In the chat room, Young Mi-yeon inexplicably blushed and felt uncomfortable in her heart. Everyone, don't you find it strange? Choi Hyang-cheol was supposed to launch a surprise attack much later. The netizens also found it strange that he should have only attacked during the 00 Corporation plot. But why did that guy appear so quickly? Something happened. Big trouble. Young Mi-yeon guessed it was the influence of the fully responsive AI. Cha Sung-cheol didn't have any good ideas either to tee this stage. We can only speculate like that. It's actually a hidden storyline. It's getting interesting. Let's keep watching first. Lee Eugene panted heavily, recounting what happened after entering. Although I barely shook them off, I don't know when he'll attack again. And once I use my ability, there's a risk of exposing my position. So Junior, you should run first. Running wasn't in Baek Yu-hyun's character. He told Lee Eugene to perform emergency treatment first, then hide. He would deal with those guys and come back. Lee Eugene was shocked hearing this. In no way. Choi Hyang-cheol is a veteran awakener. Junior, you alone. Baek Yu-hyun told her to put her heart in her pelvis. He had a plan. At this time, Choi Hyang-cheol was circling by the river. They didn't know where Lee Eugene had hidden. Choi Hyang-cheol made a final decision. Anyway, dragging that body, she can't run far. Search all the way along this canyon. I'll take this chance to look for the target below. But the next second, he was startled. He used his ability to slash out without hesitation. Flames appeared in the air. W8. Baek Yu-hyun was sweating profusely. You are Lee Eugene's Jr. Baek Yu-hyun raised both hands. He barely squeezed out 3 words. I'm saved. Baek Yu-hyun stuttered a bit as he spoke. The passage suddenly collapsed. I got separated from Senior Lee Eugene. What is going on? The netizens laughed seeing this. Wow, what the hell is this acting? Dying of laughter. Even if I can't see his face, I know his acting is definitely GOAT. R.I.P. Choi Hyong-cheol. Choi Hyong-cheol patted his shoulder with a friendly face. S.O. You still don't know anything. As for what exactly is going on, you'll see her after you wake up from a sleep. Saying that, Choi Hyong-cheol revealed a perverted smile. His left hand had already released his ability, accompanied by spots of blood. It was actually Baek Yu-hyan who struck first. Choi Hyong-cheol was dumbfounded. Cough, cough. You bastard. He didn't expect someone to be better at acting than him. I actually fell for it. Some netizens felt he didn't lose unjustly. To be honest. That move was indeed hard to defend against. Choi Hyong-cheol clutched his chest and fell to his knees. The two companions were shocked. What? Who am I? After succeeding with one move, Baek Yu-hyan had already hidden. The masked man was very worried. Damn it, are you okay? I'll do first aid. Chase that bastard. The other companion rushed out upon hearing the voice. Understood. He sprinted on the ground. Damn it, where'd he go? Little did he know, Baek Yu-hyan was watching him from a god's eye view. He was crouching on a huge tree branch. The man ran for a while and didn't find a trace of Baek Yu-hyan. He shouldn't have run far. Where exactly is he? But the next second, Baek Yu-hyan appeared behind him. What? Scared me. Is it a bird? When he reacted, Baek Yu-hyan's dagger was already pressed against his neck, just like a ghost. On the other side, the masked man was performing emergency rescue on Choi Hyong-cheol. Hey, pull yourself together. The bleeding has stopped. Just get treatment once we're out. But he thought too much. Just as he finished speaking, a dagger flew past his ear, stabbing right into Choi Hyong-cheol's heart. The masked man was so angry he cursed loudly. You crazy scumbag bastard. Now he was the only one left. Baek Yu-hyan appeared directly in front of him. The masked man couldn't help but ask, where is the companion who chased you? Baek Yu-hyan didn't speak, but the two-handed sword in his hand explained everything. He picked up one of the swords, still saying nothing. The masked man remembered. That sword belonged to his companion. Whether out of fear or anger, the masked man directly used his ability. Countless earth spikes shot towards Baek Yu-hyan. Bastard, I'm going to kill you. Facing the rain-like earth spikes, Baek Yu-hyan barely dodged using both hands and feet. At this moment, the masked man had gone berserk with killing intent. Going full power directly, it's not over yet. He pressed both hands on the ground. The ground actually began to undulate and shake. This was his ultimate skill, Earth Wave. Baek Yu-hyan ran wildly. Facing the enemy's crazy offense, Baek Yu-hyan snapped a giant tree, using it to slow down the masked man's attacks, incidentally using it to protect himself. Seeing that even this couldn't stop Baek Yu-hyan, the masked man couldn't help complaining. This guy is like a monster, but he still had a move. Rockhorn activated. A sharp stone popped up right in front of Baek Yu-hyan. This attack came a bit suddenly. Baek Yu-hyan could only dodge rashly, but his reaction was ultimately a bit slow. This was also the first time he got injured. The shattered tree trunk actually grazed his arm. But the next second, he rushed towards the masked man. But the masked man wasn't a pushover either, releasing a large number of stone spikes again. Still shouting, "Didon, come over." Baek Yu-hyan turned the direction of his sword. A flash of sword light. All the stone spikes were swept in, instantly shattered into powder. Sword light flashed. Baek Yu-hyan had already appeared behind the masked man. This was actually a cross slash. The masked man felt that most of the blood on him wasn't his own. He widened his eyes in disbelief. How is this possible? Then the masked man took his lunchbox. Baek Yu-hyan completed a triple kill. The netizens were also watching with trepidation. Too crazy. Amazing. This really made me not dare to breathe. Haha. Worshipping on the spot. Jung Neun was dumbfounded, fighting 3 hounds with just one core element. Cha Song-cheol was so excited his face turned red and he saw stars. The netizens also had their own views. Despairing gap. But the first mission is hounds? Is this difficulty serious? Not joking. My jaw dropped. Baek Yu-hyan looked at the wound on his arm. Although I killed 2 by surprise attack, I only reached this level. Indeed, compared to that world, I'm still far off. Then let me take a look. He then picked up Choi Hyong-cheol's phone. There is actually a message inside. Lee Eugene and the target person are expected to be dispatched to Reverse Planet. Capture alive, if possible. If circumstances do not permit, immediate execution is allowed. Good guy. So Li Eugene was just implicated by him. But searching through the bodies, he didn't find anything special. Is this message the only harvest? Baek Yu-hyan was a bit disappointed. I'll leave the investigation to the Bureau. But there was a pleasant surprise. A sharp short sword. First effect, slightly increases cutting power of every slash. Second effect, after throwing, it can return to the thrower's hand at any time. But this weapon effect only applies to PV. The second item was the Victor's Bracelet. First effect, increases power of ability skills. Second effect, reduces cooldown of ability skills. Also only applies to PV. The third item was the Hermit's Necklace. First effect, can use Shadow Warehouse. Second effect, can store or retrieve equipment from the warehouse at any time. Also only applies to PV. Baek Yu-hyan didn't expect to be able to confirm effects directly. Looks like a game is a game after all. In that world, I could only guess the effects through various experiments. Anyway, the urgent need is solved. Must hurry. Clear Reverse Planet before Li Eugene's injury worsens. At this moment, Li Eugene felt somewhat despairing. She felt she was too unlucky to actually encounter a leader individual. Emperor Scorpion. This luck was unmatched. Why did it run to this kind of place? No, I should say it's fortunate. If it didn't go here, but to Junior's side. Before she could think more, the Emperor Scorpion had already launched an attack. Just one pincer was equal to several Li Eugenes. But she couldn't just wait to die. Using her ability again. No matter what, she must finish it here. As for the consequences, she'd think about it after surviving. At this moment, Li Eugene was possessed by Sasuke. Using Chidori, lightning hissed in the air, but before she could make a move, the Emperor Scorpion smashed onto the ground with a boom. Li Eugene was confused. What exactly happened? The Emperor Scorpion just died like that. At this moment, Baek Yu-hyan's voice reached her ears. Are you okay? But this pose was too cool. Baek Yu-hyan was carrying a sword on his shoulder. His other foot stepped on another sword. The blade was inserted right into the Emperor Scorpion's vitals. Li Eugene was mesmerized as senior. The netizens also didn't expect Baek Yu-hyan to be so fierce. He can deal with a leader individual with that body. Already cleared normal and elite individuals. Even fought up to the boss. Haha. But just then, the sky began to crack. The first time a man played PvP Strife mode, he actually stunned the live commentator and all netizens. Just because in a team battle mode, he single-handedly completed the occupation battle, escort battle, scramble battle, annihilation battle. He even wiped out the opponents instantly. His teammates were all stunned, watching helplessly as the kill notifications kept scrolling. This kind of rhythm of getting carried wasn't what they wanted. Just now, Baek Yu-hyan had just saved Li Eugene. But the next second, the sky began to crack. Baek Yu-hyan knew the reverse world was starting to close. He jumped in front of Li Eugene. You did it. Really killed the hounds alone. But now is not the time to talk about this. Must leave here first. Baek Yu-hyan offered to carry Li Eugene on his back. Young Neon also guessed the reason. Is it because the sweep was completed while the passage was collapsed, so it started closing before leaving? Li Eugene felt a bit embarrassed, but she still let Baek Yu-hyan carry her. At this moment, she really had difficulty moving. Cha Sung-cheol also expressed his view correct, so they have to escape before getting sucked in. Baek Yu-hyan told Li Eugene to hold on tight. They soon arrived at the portal. At this time, the system popped up a notification. Sweep complete. Obtained 1 ability point. Level up. Several messages popped up at once. The scene changed. Otherworld Administration Bureau Headquarters. This time, Baek Yu-hyan faced Kim Cheol's questioning. Li Eugene was attacked by corporate awakeners and got injured. Is this true? That's right. Hearing the affirmative answer, Kim Cheol slapped his forehead. Those big corporation guys finally crossed the line. So, what about those guys? Baek Yu-hyan's answer was very crisp. Killed them. Kim Cheol was truly shocked. Killed them? How did you alone? Then he thought of the scene when he first met Baek Yu-hyan. He felt relieved about it. Is there anything that can be used as evidence? Baek Yu-hyan handed over Choi Hyong-cheol's phone. This is their phone. Although there are signs of receiving instruction messages, the rest is encrypted and cannot be confirmed. Thanks to you, the investigation will be much smoother. Leave the rest to us. You go rest. Baek Yu-hyan got up to leave upon hearing this. But immediately Kim Cheol stopped him again. Although it's a bit meddlesome, there will definitely be a chance in the future. Baek Yu-hyan didn't know what he wanted to express. So until then, you must endure. Do you understand what I mean? Baek Yu-hyun didn't ask why. He just had to follow instructions. At this time, the system popped up several windows again. Mission first live combat complete. Level up. Obtained 1 ability point. Please choose the second ability core element. Wah. The first live combat mission is finally over. It was an even more spectacular action movie than expected. The viewer should be satisfied too, right? Let's check the response. He didn't know if he didn't look, but was startled when he did. It was actually anonymous viewer 62 privately donating 3 million won. Congratulations on clearing the first stage. Then, special mission issued. Young Na-yeon immediately sent this news to Baek Yu-hyun and said she would send him a screenshot later. Baek Yu-hyun looked at the 3 pop-ups. There's actually a special mission again. Speaking of which, they said that before too, meaning they'll tell me after the broadcast. Baek Yu-hyun asked Young Na-yeon to help him push the broadcast flow faster. Young Na-yeon was completely okay with that. Cha Sung-cheol turned to look at her. Na-yeon, is something wrong? Oh no. Young Na-yeon was also a bit confused at this moment. What the hell? Can't you see this donation pop up, Sung-cheol? Although it was a private donation, she felt she should think about this later. Broadcast first now. Then she laughed it off. The response to this broadcast is also very enthusiastic. Should we continue this momentum? Switch to the PvP segment. Cha Sung-cheol thought this idea was great. In the last PvP duel, the god of micromanagement set an amazing winning streak record. It became a topic for a while. That's right. So what is the PvP to be played today? The two push the flow in harmony. Today's PvP is Strife Mode, and Strife Mode includes Occupation Battle, Escort Battle, Scramble Battle, Annihilation Battle, randomly matched among the 4 modes. 5 versus 5 with a fixed number of people. A team battle with a best-of-3 system. The netizens weren't happy. What, Strife Mode? Not playing duel? Just waiting to see the winning streak record. Really disappointing. Is he afraid the winning streak record will be broken? So he's not playing? Young Na-yeon had long expected this, but a trace of cold sweat still appeared on her face. Sure enough, there are opposing voices just as expected, but she believed. Once they saw the actual gameplay, thoughts would change. Then let's begin. As a normal escort battle was successfully matched, Baek Yu-hyun and the others were the attackers. 5 people were transported in front of a truck. Cha Sung-cheol didn't expect the first round to be an escort battle. This is the attacking side, a game mode where you push the payload to the destination. The defending side tries to stop it. Although it's the first time playing a 5 versus 5 team battle, I'm looking forward to what kind of style the god of micromanagement will show. As the first round officially began, the vehicle started up. The 5 people all found their positions. 2 hid in the carriage. 2 were also deployed at the front of the car. Baek Yu-hyun was at the very back. But Baek Yu-hyun suddenly stopped and turned around. Cha Sung-cheol was also surprised. He couldn't understand Baek Yu-hyun's operation at all. The god of micromanagement is retreating. Is he planning to flank? The so-called flanking. Not attacking the target from a front, but turning to the back to attack. Yes, although the general standard is to guard near the payload. But if one has that ability, this is also a good judgment. However, under normal circumstances, it's not easy for one person to stop 5 people. Then Baek Yu-hyun leaped a few times to the rooftop. Still, the netizens had confidence in Baek Yu-hyun. But if it's the microcontrol god, it might be possible. This is matching, not ranked. And they're all newbies. Probably doable, but there are different views. How do you know the other side doesn't have a smurf account dog? From the map, Baek Yu-hyun is approaching the enemy rapidly. What amazing speed. He's about to encounter the defenders so soon. With a whoosh, Baek Yu-hyun jumps into the air. And right below him are the defenders. He raises a dagger high. Looks like he's going to off someone. Then he fiercely throws the dagger in his hand. The first unlucky guy is born. It lands coincidentally right in his neck. The sudden change shocks the others. Wah, what? It's a flank. Blondie's mouth opens wide enough to fit an egg. But in the next second, he's the one biting the dust. Baek Yu-hyun completes a double kill instantly at the start. Seeing 2 companions fall, the brains of the other 3 crash directly. No, what is our team doing? I'll hold them off. You guys push the cart. Okay, but they seem to have forgotten Baek Yu-hyun. Little do they know, this is the real killing god. Baek Yu-hyun eliminates the remaining 3 as well. Baek Yu-hyun's teammates are stunned, watching the names die one by one. What is the situation? The kill feed is scrolling constantly. Just like that, they won the first round. It's over. The netizens are overjoyed. The teammates' reaction. Haha, I'd be annoyed too if I were them. Winning without doing anything. If a carry takes you flying, you should know to be grateful, okay? Young Na-yeon and the other are also shocked. Wow. Although we expected the microcontrol god to carry, this ended too quickly. It's actually a bit regrettable. I don't know why, but it feels like the game pace is being pushed particularly fast today. Is there something urgent? I have to say, Cha Sung-cheol's sixth sense is very accurate. Young Na-yeon can only laugh it off. Who knows? Let's continue watching first. Next are the remaining 3 modes. Annihilation starts, and Baek Yu-hyun goes for the kill immediately. He wipes out the opponent very quickly. Next is occupation. The start is the decisive battle. The opposing players are confused. What the hell is that, Birdman? Stop him. The 2 on the roof hurriedly release their abilities, attempting to stop Baek Yu-hyun's steps. But Baek Yu-hyun directly uses the chain and dagger as a climbing ladder. He rushes up the building in 2 jumps. He bleeds the 2 of them as soon as they meet. He is still too strong in perfect existence mode. Finally, they capture the flag. Baek Yu-hyun captures the flag single-handedly. Just like that, Baek Yu-hyun demonstrated an overwhelming pentakill and ended the game instantly. And Anonymous Viewer 62 privately sponsors 3 million won again and left a message. Thank you for the broadcast today. Then, I will issue you a special mission. Please open the new system of Reverse Planet while playing the game. Young Na-yeon feels like she's going to fly. The text says 3 million won. Yu-hyun, it's here again. Anonymous Viewer 62 sent a sponsorship and a message. 3 million won. Let's use this money to hold a fan event. Have a dinner together. Update the equipment too. Baek Yu-hyun has no opinion on these matters. He just wants to know Anonymous Viewer 62's message. Looking at the screenshot sent by Young Na-yeon. New system. The requirement is while playing the game. Does it mean whether it's PV or PvP? I just have to keep playing? Baek Yu-hyun closes his eyes. The man does not choose the top-tier spear in front of him, but chooses a 2-handed sword gathering dust in the corner instead. It's not that he doesn't want that spear, but that 2-handed sword was his partner while being trapped in the game for 10 years. As long as it tastes blood, its other 2 effects can be unlocked. It can instantly turn into a divine artifact that crushes the spear. With it, Baek Yu-hyun's strength will skyrocket. He will never almost be killed by Kim Ha-na in one move again. To flush out the mastermind Anonymous Viewer 62, Baek Yu-hyun finally compromised. Anyway, let's do as that guy says for now. A few days later, the day of filming the 3rd episode of Micro Tour content, Baek Yu-hyun arrives at the Otherworld Administration Bureau Combat Training Ground. Immediately, he receives a message from Lee Eugene. Junior, because of my injury, it's difficult for me to take on the marksman role for the time being, so I found someone to replace me. If you come to the training ground, I'll introduce you. Young Na-yeon is also curious. A substitute. Who could it be? Considering the microcontrol god's status, they should send a famous agent, right? Netizen Jang Ho guesses it's Kim Cheol. Immediately, someone denies it. After all, Kim Cheol feels busy as hell. Someone says if it's not Kim Ha-na, it's Jang Ho Young. Pick one of 2. As soon as the 2 meet, Baek Yu-hyun notices Lee Eugene is wrapped in bandages. Senior, is your body better? Thanks to you. But for now, I have to let someone else be the marksman. She then looks in a direction. Just in time, she's here. Hello, I am Kim Ha-na. The netizens are the first to exclaim. Wow, Kim Ha-na. After Lee Eugene, it's Kim Ha-na. So envious. I didn't hope for Big Brother to be happy to this extent, but I still like Eugene Uni more. Sobi. Lee Eugene and Kim Ha-na. It's a matter of preference difference. Baek Yu-hyun is stunned for a moment. Please take care of me. I am Baek Yu-hyun. Kim Ha-na, in terms of strength, she is the veritable second in command of the Otherworld Administration Bureau after Kim Cheol. When met as an enemy in that world, she was indeed quite tricky. Since you 2 have greeted each other, I'll withdraw first. Actually, I sneaked out to come here too. What? Didn't you say you got permission to go out? Oh my. Then Junior, I'm counting on you. After speaking, Lee Eugene slips away directly, making Kim Ha-na flail her claws and teeth on the spot in anger. Lee Eugene, you stop right there. The scene is awkward for a moment, as she coughs twice. I heard you can use a sword. Do you mainly use a long sword or a short sword? I use both. I'm very curious about what level you've reached. Then shall we have a simple spar? Cha Sung-cheol in the live broadcast room is startled hearing this. Young Na-yeon is a bit confused. What's wrong? She sees Cha Sung-cheol sweating like rain. The current plot development is a bit surprising. Sparring with Kim Ha-na. Isn't it common for sword users to spar? That is true, but not all players use swords. This is a plot development that only holds because the microcontrol god is the protagonist. Hearing this, Young Nayeon looks like she's seen a ghost, sweating like rain as well. Fully adaptive AI, what on earth is it? What the hell? Suddenly got goosebumps. That's right, most should be ability users. Fully adaptive AI, what on earth? What on earth is he? Even if it's a fully adaptive AI, because there is a fixed storyline, I think there are limitations. But this direction is completely different from other players. In other words, this game, depending on the player's actions, the subsequent story is entirely capable of developing in a completely different direction. Just like reality. At this moment, both of them are ready. The battle is about to trigger. At this time, Kim Hana proposes a request. No abilities. Let's compete using only swords. Baek Yu-hyun indicates it's impossible. His ability is body enhancement, which is a permanent passive. So it is in effect right now, too. In that case, Kim Hana says she will also appropriately use a little ability. Then, the contest officially begins. Green energy is released from Kim Hana's body. She slashes towards Baek Yu-hyun without hesitation. Baek Yu-hyun's body instantly creates several afterimages, making a sword-drawing motion. With a clang, the two attacks collide. Kim Hana's right foot stomps the ground fiercely. A magnificent turn knocks Baek Yu-hyun flying. Cha Song-cheol feels Kim Hana is indeed not to be underestimated. So strong. Young Nayeon, the hype man, follows up. That should be the construction of the wind god style, right? Hit you while you're down. Seeing Baek Yu-hyun at a disadvantage, Kim Hana takes advantage of the momentum. Half right, because it was exactly with Kim Hana as the prototype that the wind god style was born. But the nuclear throne is also very impressive. He hasn't lost the wind at all in terms of speed. Facing Kim Hana's storm-like attacks, Baek Yu-hyun blocks every hit just right. The netizens exploded. Holy cow, truly not just for show. Isn't this a side quest? How is he so awesome? Watching this, I want to learn swordsmanship too. Kim Hana is also surprised. Baek Yu-hyun opposite her is very strong. Not just fast, he is precisely cutting into openings. It seems it's okay to show a little real skill. Good guy. Kim Hana seems like a changed person, as if the Tyrannosaurus gene inside her has been activated. The wooden sword in her hand instantly stabs in front of Baek Yu-hyun's eyes. The powerful ability even bursts the air, creating ripples of energy in the air. As expected, I knew you would dodge. But at this moment, behind Baek Yu-hyun has turned into a ruined city. The live broadcast room is instantly flooded with comments. Wow as expected of Kim Hana. Can even the nuclear throne not win against Kim Hana? The nuclear throne has currently only unlocked 2 core elements. If he unlocks another one, he should be evenly matched. Evenly matched? Maybe he'll be stronger. Baek Yu-hyun's skill makes Kim Hana very satisfied. Baek Yu-hyun says thank you. If it were actual combat, the winning rate would probably be less than 20%. Indeed, compared to the world over there, he is still far off. Immediately, Kim Hana asks the doubt in her heart. Who did you learn your swordsmanship from? I am self-taught. To reach this level by self-teaching. Very good. Please follow me. There's a place I want to show you. At this moment, several pop-ups appear. Mission: sparring with Kim Hana completed. Level increased. Then they arrive at a place resembling a weapon depot. This is actually the armory of the Otherworld Administration Bureau. All kinds of weapons are available, because the higher-ups said Mr. Yu-hyun seems to need a handy weapon. The fat man speaking is the support team leader of the Otherworld Administration Bureau, Kim Hyun-woo. Yes, although there are ready-made weapons, there's no need to always use whiteboard equipment with no special effects. Kim Hyun-woo bows to the two. Then please take your time choosing. Come out when you're done. I will excuse myself first. All right, take your time choosing. At this moment, Baek Yu-hyun looks at the weapons in front of him and thinks, nothing is more worth taking than expected. Is this the only one that's passable? Placed in front of him is surprisingly a long spear. Vampire Spear Dragos. First effect, the cutting power of the spear blade increases. Acquires dominance over blood. Absorbs blood stained on the spear blade to recover stamina. Third effect, acquires dominance over blood. He thinks he'll choose this one, but in the next second, he is startled. That is Soul Eater, a two-handed sword that looks ordinary. Spirit Extinguishing Sword Soul Eater. First effect, will absolutely not be destroyed. Second effect, increases cutting power according to the number of souls devoured. Currently devoured souls, 0. Third effect, recovers stamina equivalent to a certain percentage of the damage caused by Soul Eater. Fourth effect, sealed. This effect only applies to PvE content. But Baekyu Hyen can't figure it out. Why is something that should be in the black market here? Was it originally stored in the Otherworld Administration Bureau and later secretly sold off by someone? That's the only possibility. He also didn't expect to meet the old partner he used in that world here. Kim Hana is a bit surprised. Are you choosing that one? Yes, I'll take this one. A two-handed sword. Interesting. Unexpectedly, this two-handed sword is even taller than Baekyu Hyen. Kim Hana indicates she will ask that side to transfer ownership. Baekyu Hyen strokes the two-handed sword, unable to put it down. Young Nayeon is stunned. What is going on here? Logically, at this stage, usually only weapons with two affixes appear. The netizens also think this is unreasonable. How can there be a weapon with 5 affixes appearing this early? And they are random affixes, but turn out to be all top-tier attributes. When I went to the armory, there definitely wasn't that kind of thing. At this time, a netizen named Chocolate-Flavored Jenga donated 1,001 and left a message. If all seals on that are unlocked, it feels like it would be a graduation weapon. Hee. Cha Song-cheol is used to it by now. In fact, this is not the first time the Nuclear Throne has obtained equipment ahead of the version. The Hermit's necklace obtained in the last broadcast was also an item that would originally drop in the mid to late game. With him saying that, the netizens also remembered. Thinking about it carefully, it's true. We were so busy watching the hidden plot we forgot. The first sweep produced the Hound, who has time to care about equipment. Those who know. The risk-reward mechanism of Reverse Planet is very clear. The harder the challenge, the richer the reward. Because he killed the Hound in the first sweep, he could get the Hermit's necklace? Exactly. Plus, the Nuclear Throne perfectly achieved everything from escaping the Research Institute to the sparring with Kim Hana. That is indeed true. Baekyu Hyen has been sweeping through everything all along. So this Soul Eater is the reward for that. This speculation makes a lot of sense. Of course, this is currently just a hypothesis. Anyway, let's continue watching first. I heard the ownership transfer is complete. Baekyu Hyen expressed his thanks. Since I got a new weapon to practice, let's go for a sweep. Kim Hana is indeed a battle maniac. This is a continuous mountain range. Neither of them expected there to be a portal at the top of the mountain. This warm-up exercise is really thorough. Turns out the guard soldier really didn't lie. He said the portal was just a bit further up, but the two didn't expect this bit to be the mountain peak. Clearly said just walk a little bit more. Anyway, this is an area where wolf-type beast invaders appear. They're small-scale beast types. The danger level is considered low. Wolves are pack animals. These guys have a strong instinct to defend their territory. They will swarm over very soon. Baekyu Hyen closes his eyes. Beast type, although trickier than insect types. Anyway, trash below B rank is all about the same. It actually saves him the effort of searching. Kim Hana indicates she won't intervene unless the situation is critical. For now, she would just watch from the side and tells Baekyu Hyen to do his best. Baekyu Hyen summons Soul Eater from the Shadow Warehouse. Immediately, the sound of wolf howls comes from the mountain. Baekyu Hyen knows these guys are here. Directly enters perfect existence mode. Facing the menacing wolf pack, Baekyu Hyen assumes a sword-drawing stance. The moment the wolf pack approaches, he swings the two-handed sword. First strike, full power. Soul Eater draws an arc of sword light. The wolf pack starts bleeding instantly. The next second, Soul Eater undergoes change. A bloodline actually lights up in the middle of the sword blade. Soul Eater's cutting power increases. The netizens are excited. This is the flavor. 10 points. Full marks 10 points. Young Nayeon also opens her mouth wide. That huge greatsword. He actually wields it as light as a feather. Cha Song-cheol cries for some reason. Turns out a netizen named Cha Song-cheol donated 50,001 and left a message. Truly amazing microcontrol technique. Baekyu Hyen looks at the Soul Eater in his hand, very satisfied. Indeed, the feel is completely different from other weapons. Kim Hana, however, is shocked by this sword strike of his. This is Heavenly Moon Slash. She feels Baekyu Hyen is becoming more and more mysterious.